I just wake up in the morning and I yell a lot, even though it's way too early. It's fun though. Wake up, wake up, wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up. That's right. Good morning. Thank you for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life. On this show, we talk about fitness related content from a home gym perspective and get your live reactions to the topics that matter to the home gym community. And we have a lot of fun along the way. I am John Greaves III. I am the co-founder of Garage Gym Life along with my wife, Naomi. If this is your first time checking out this show, thank you for giving us a chance. I promise you are in for a good time today. Unless you don't like laughing and having fun, then I don't know how to help you. But if you do like that kind of stuff, please hit that like button and hit subscribe. We are growing at a phenomenal rate, and I'm super, super excited about that. One other thing that I got to mention is that there are a lot of changes, or not a lot of changes, but there are some changes that are happening in real time on the channel. So I'll be mentioning a lot of that stuff in the first hour. So you guys, I don't want you guys to be lost. You're like, well, where's this? What's that? That kind of stuff. And I'm going to be mentioning some of the features on the channel for those of you who have just started subscribing, because we've had a little bit of channel growth. That's really, really encouraging, but it also reminds me, hey, sometimes people don't know, because I see your comments on some of my posts. So I'm like, sometimes people are new and they don't know, what's available on the channel. So for those of you who have been subscribers, who have been paying channel members, some of this stuff you already know. So I apologize, but I got to get the other people up to speed. So that's part of what we're going to be talking about in the first hour of the show. But for right now, like I said, hit the like button, hit subscribe. And in fact, this is a good time for me to tell you what is on the show today. So in the first hour, we're going to have news and other things. At 6:45, we're going to have a brand new recliner of rage, because I got to let y'all know how I was betrayed and led astray this week. Okay, so I'll tell you why I'm crashing out. Then in the second hour, which would be 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Central, Jeff and Perrin from the Paired and Powered Up YouTube channel will be joining the show. They're going to be talking about their YouTube channel, their Instagram. They'll be talking about their favorite videos to create, like what kind of videos they enjoy creating. They've got a fairly young channel, but they've been doing this long enough now to kind of hit their groove and figure out what it is they like, the kind of content they like to create. So we'll be asking them about that, and also how they are balancing creating content with all the other life responsibilities. They don't go anywhere when you decide you want to be a YouTube content creator. So we're going to figure out how they're balancing those responsibilities with YouTube content creation, and I'm excited about that. In the third hour at 8 a.m., we're going to be doing React and Respond. So here's the deal. I have, and some of you guys already know that, because I've told Carlos, I've told Coach Carp. Shout out to Coach Carp. I'm FOC for life, friends of Carp. But I've told some of you guys this, but I have I have a bunch of topics every show, right? And usually what ends up happening is I end up not covering all those topics. Okay. That's a good problem to have. You'd rather have too many topics than not enough topics. I've done the not enough topics thing, and that's rough. Okay. So you'd rather have too many topics. You would prefer to have too many topics rather than having not enough. Well, here's the thing. I was looking at I was getting my playlist together. I was getting ready to get on the treadmill get my steps in, and I see one of Jonathan from No Fate 24/7 YouTube channel. That's a great channel. If you guys are not subscribed to, you need to subscribe to him. But anyway, so I see that he's got a new video out. So all right, I'll throw it on the playlist. All right, I'll watch it today. And then I'm watching it, and I see that the video was about one of the topics that I've been putting off. I said, okay, all right, that's it. We're going to do React and Respond, because I can't have, I need to be cutting edge. I can't have Jonathan stealing all my topics, making videos about all my topics. All right. So I said, we've gone far enough. We're going to do React and Respond. And we honestly may not get through we still may not get through all the topics, depending on how much you guys interact with each one. And if that's the case, next week we're gonna do some more until we have cleared out the queue and we're back to and we're caught up. All right. So that's what's on my calendar for today. We're doing react and respond because I got stuff on here that I've had on here for a minute. Okay. So that's what's going to be happening. So now you know what's going on. As I said, hit like, hit subscribe if you haven't done so. If you would like to support the channel as a member, I would appreciate it if you click that join button. If you already subscribed, you want to support the channel as a member. Our goal is 1,000 paid channel members. It's only 99 cents a month. I did confirm that it is only 99 cents a month to be an entry level tier member, and so that's less than $12 a year. We appreciate all of you who are supporting us. You get like a little badge next to your name on YouTube, but that 99 cents a month from you goes a long way towards helping us get more things. The current thing that we're saving up for is a new microphone. Right now, we hooked the mic up and we're like, I'm like, don't touch it, because I'm always afraid that the mic, like the cable is loose. It's got a loose connection, right? So, by the way, that's a good time to remind. If you guys see me talking, you don't hear anything, I may not know, because these headphones are for me to hear my guests. I don't hear myself. I don't hear like what you guys hear, right? So I don't know if the mic cuts off unless you guys tell me. So if the mic cuts off, please let me know. Or if the sound on the mic changes dramatically, it might mean that the mic is cut off and it's switched to my secondary mic, which has horrible audio. So again, let me know as soon as you hear that. Say, hey, your mic cut off, no sound, something, okay? Because that's the only way I know. In any case, like I said, click that join button, support your channel so we don't have to do these workarounds anymore, okay? All right. Now that you know what's going on, let's go ahead and check out who's in the live chat. Say hello, because you got to be polite. Say good morning, everybody. Look at that. Eric Eccles. Eric Eccles is the first one in the building. We have just made history. Good morning. He says, good morning. You know what, man? That deserves a round of applause, okay? Right here, round of applause for Eric Eccles being first one in the building. That's it. My guy, Eric Eccles, first one in the building. What's up, man? It says, good morning, gentlemen. Morning, Eric. Let's see here. Jared Martin was number 2. He was Dose. Jared's usually in the second one in the building, and today is no exception. He says, hello, folks. And then my guy, Carlos, from CBS True Consumer Reviews says, wake up, wake up, wake up. Remember, Carlos, Uncle John is funny. That is you know what? I might actually pull that as a drop and throw that in here. Uncle John is funny. All right. That's something y'all need to know. If you know, you know. Trevor, my guy, T-Dog 19 said, let's go. That's right. Letha Cannon. Hi. Hello. How are you? And how are all your clients? I don't know if you're training somebody already right now, but I appreciate you being here. Letha's, if you happen to be someone who's into, I think you said Aggies or something like that, go to her, go to Letha's Instagram, and she's selling Aggie, I think, towels or something like that. So if you're into that, if you don't like a great team like I do, but that's okay. There's room for. I mean, we got to have somebody to play. So I'm fine with y'all having being fans of that. But anyway, you go to Letha's Instagram and she's selling those. I just want to make sure I threw that out there to let you guys know. But she says, good morning, friends. It's a great day to become 1% better than you were yesterday. Let's do this. Dang right. Kurt says my hair looks good. Hey, you know what? I have been putting first of all, we got Indian in my family. I just want to let you know that. All right, we do have Indian in my family. So that's why my hair looks exceptional. All right, but yeah, I got this new stuff I've been putting in it. So I appreciate you noticing. Carlos said my mic sounds nice. Check. Hey, my mic sounds nice. Check. 1. My mic sounds nice. Check. Y'all don't know about that. You're too young. You're too young. Parrot and Powered Up says, I'm interrupting their workout. Nah, I'm motivating your workout. I just turbocharged it. All right. I'm the turbo booster. Y'all probably don't even know what a turbo booster is. Y'all too young. Carlos said he's getting those Friday morning steps in. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Carp's Gym said, yep. That's why we in the FOC. If you get a yep from Carp on your video, you've arrived. All right. That's your membership. Man who parks in gym. What's up, my man? He says, hey, yo, what's up, dude? I have to watch your most recent episode of Rep Ramp Repeat. I like checking those out when I'm, ironically enough, like when I'm relaxing. I like to watch it when I'm relaxing, not like beginning of the day. Because although it sounds like somebody who's going to be like the title of the show sounds like somebody who's going to be like yelling like me, basically, is not. He's actually pretty calm. He just calmly tells you what's wrong with your life, all right, and what's wrong with the world. And so I really like that. So I like to put it on in the afternoon or something. So that's on my playlist to hit up today, man. Let's see here. It said as far as channel membership, you can pay. Carp said you can pay more if it's not enough for you. So here's my suggestion: create a dummy YouTube account and become a channel member with that one too. That's what you do. All right, let's see here. Kodo G Grips, what's up? Hey, David has a home gym tour here on the channel. We haven't done. It's ironic because we started the home gym tour craze, I guess, back in like I want to say 2018, but that's so funny because I remember I had to explain to people what it was. Say, hey, we want to do a gym tour. Like, and they're like, what? I said, yeah, it's like MTV. I remember I used to tell people it's like MTV Cribs, but it's just your home gym. Now everybody's doing it. But anyway, so we haven't done one in a while. But David from Kodo Geek Grips was gracious enough to send us one. So that's on the channel. And if you guys go on there and you're watching the video, you see that subscribe button, make sure you click the subscribe button to support this channel and to support David's channel as well. He said Jeff and Perrin were two of the nicest people I met at Home Gym Con. That's awesome. Let's see here. And Jared said that Trevor's expecting some new equipment. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with new stuff. You got the new. Carp said Jared Martin and Eric Echoes are the presidents of the early play game. Hey, those dudes get up. They get up and get active early. And let's see here. And he said, oh, man, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, man. And in fact, I'll say this. I'm glad you asked and said, wanted to know if I could put it on the channel. Heck yeah, I'm happy to do that. And if anybody else is watching this and you want to submit a home gym tour to our channel, same deal that I did with David. I'm happy to do it. There'll be a little bit you got to shoot me, like message me, because there'll be a little bit of back and forth because we got to talk about formatting and things like that. But it's really, really easy, and we try to make it as painless as possible and fun for you, as well as being a good watch for the audience. So I appreciate you sharing the video, man. It's awesome. All right. So now that you guys know who's in the building, it's time to get to our first segment, which is news and other things. Let's go. All right, so the Rit Fit Gator Bench has arrived, and I want to say every time I say Gator Bench, it makes me think of Gator boots. And if you're from Detroit, you know what that. Though, if you're from Detroit or you're a fan of 90s hip hop, you know what Gator boots are. All right, yeah, either one will educate you about what Gator boots are. All I'm gonna say about that is I can't say Gator Bench without thinking Gator boots. I've also never owned a pair of Gator boots, and I don't plan on buying any. But I'm just saying, I can't say Gator Bench without thinking Gator boots. Okay, so there's that. All right. So that being said, it has arrived, and I will. At least one of you guys already knows what that is, but for the rest of you guys, I'm going to show you what it is, and that means it's time for the first screen share of the day. Raising the roof over here, raising the roof. All right, so let's go ahead and check that out. The first screen share of the day. Head on over here. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's it. So there we go. All right, so this is the Gator Bench, and you may be able to tell, perhaps you cannot, but this is the updated version of the previous Rit Fit 3-section adjustable bench that we used. So we had version 1 here in our home gym, We liked it. It had some things that needed adjusting, but it was good. We actually ended up giving that to our son and daughter-in-law, and it's in their home gym right now. Then while we were in California at the RitFit 10th anniversary event in Chino Hills, we got to see version 2. And I was going to, and so I made a video about, showing me using it. I showed it here on the show. And we were going to, kind of promote it a little bit. And RitFit said, don't do it. Because we've got, actually, while I was there, I was like, we're going to talk about it and they said, actually, version 3 is coming out. We have an update based upon user feedback. I said, oh, is that right? So I was excited. I said, well, y'all let me know when that comes out because I want to check it out. They did send it to me. And while you guys wait for me to, get my life together and unbox it, I'm going to show you what it looks like here on the RitFit site. So first of all, it's a 1,600-pound adjustable weight bench. All right. So the headrest by itself is, let's go down here. So it's 1,600 pounds full load capacity. The headrest by itself apparently is good for 396 pounds, just the headrest. So I have a fairly large head. So if you're like me, you have a fairly large head and you're concerned about, the headrest support weight, I want you to know that this headrest will support up to 396 pounds. Okay, my head does not weigh 396 pounds. I see you over there, Kurt. I hear you. I see your jokes getting started. All right, but I'm just saying the headrest will support a lot of weight. Anyway, so it's available in black, which is the color I got, or black and red, if that's the color you like. And I don't know why you wouldn't. Honestly, I would have gotten black and red, but I got black because I'm doing a comparison video. This actually may end up being a series, but I'm doing a comparison between the Exponent Edge Infinity Bench, the Mikolo Bastet 2.0, I think it's 2.0, which is their 3-section adjustable bench, and the RitFit Gator. All right. And the Infinity Bench comes only in black. Well, as when I got it. So I got the original Infinity Bench. It came only in black. So I got all of the other benches in black. So it basically, they would all be as close to each other as possible. I mean, a little thing like a color change wouldn't be enough to like dramatically change my opinion. But, I wanted to be as close, as much apples to apples as possible. Okay. So we went with just black for all 3 benches, but black and red is a current option available to you. Let's see here. Something else I wanted to, let's see here. Yeah. All right. So some of the upgrades that they told me already are they added a closed ladder system. They've widened the rear base. This is a flat incline decline bench. It goes from 85 degrees all the way down to, if I can just get to here. Yeah, okay. Goes from 85 degrees all the way down to -7 for the decline, and or -7, depends on how you want to say it. And it includes some removable pads, which you can see right here. So right there under my man's left hand, you see they have removable pads that you can use for various things. Like some of the things that immediately came to mind were you can do Bulgarian split squats with this. See how he's doing a preacher curl. He's doing basically a 1-arm preacher curl. It looks to me like if you there are 4 holes, just 4-hole options. If you were to move these pads down and he turned around, you could probably do preacher curls because you get a pad on each side. I'm not 100% sure that I'm ever going to do an incline curl with this behind my arms, because to me that defeats the purpose of an incline curl. But nevertheless, it's available to you as an option if that's what you want to do. Now, I said at least one of you has this, because, and we'll talk about who that is when we get to the community post section of the show. But Jared has got his, and I believe he's already unboxed it. He's already assembled his, so we'll be getting some feedback from him when we get to that. Anyway, so like I said, we're gonna assemble this thing probably tonight, and the plan is to start training with it on Monday, unless if I get active and assemble it. So here's the thing: I'm assembling it with Naomi, right? Because I like doing assembly videos with her, and she's got some stuff she's working on. So it depends on whether she gets done early enough. So if she doesn't get done, if she gets done early enough and feels like assembling a bench with me, we'll do it tonight. If not, we'll do it in the morning. And because I'm doing upper body push day today, if the bench isn't assembled, I can't use it. So so I know I'm going to start using it on Monday, but I may end up just finishing out with the Mikolo Bastet for my upper body push day tonight. Okay, so there we go. Anyway, let's jump in. We got the comments coming. Let's see. We got the comments right here. Let's see here. All right. So Jerry says he's already using it. He says, you'll never guess what bench I'm using right now for some 60-degree axle bar pressing. I figured, like I said, I'm actually going to be like going, messaging you periodically, getting your feedback, kind of like what I did with Carp. I did some of that with Carp for the Bastet. So I'll be doing the same thing with you to get your impressions of the RitFit Gator bench. Let's see here. And Kevin from Home Gym Gains. Kevin just dropped another video on his channel. Kevin, you were hazing that dude. Kevin made a trip to a public gym, and he started out covered up like he's supposed to. And then somewhere in the middle of the video, Kevin goes rogue and just says, you're going to have to kick me out. All right. It's getting hot. Took off the hoodie, starts flexing. His lat spread immediately increased once he went from hoodie to t-shirt, and his arms never went back down. He stayed like that the entire time, Kevin. Hey, I'm not mad at you, okay? But yeah, so you guys go ahead and check out that video. Kevin went to a public gym and hazed an unsuspecting friend, put him through looks like some unique torture. And my man is probably still sore. But you know what, Kevin? I ain't mad at you. Sometimes you got to let them know. Ashley the Amazing, what's up? She said, good morning. I was just talking to RitFit about that bench yesterday. I'm excited about it. I've actually been really, really looking forward to this since they told me about it back in August. And I'm excited that it's here now. So I cannot wait. Let's see here. Let's see. Carlos said that black and red will go great with our color palette. Yeah, I know, man. I mean, you guys can see there's a theme, right? You see like black and red all behind me. Yeah, but like I said, it was mostly because I wanted to have uniformity as much as possible with all. I didn't want, so the Mikolo bench comes in black and red also. So that would be two benches that are black and red, and then the Infinity bench would just be black. So yeah, I just said let's make them all black. Carp said it does look like their best bench option yet. I agree. Carlos said those pads are different. Yep. And Kevin said he was disappointed because apparently it's not available in RitFit Japan. So you wouldn't be able to get it without paying the shipping from the US. Oh, that's horrible. Hey, RitFit Japan need to get on their game. Come on now. It said, of course. All right, right now they're frying Jared because they said it. Of course he uses it. Hey, man, my man had the RitFit gift cards. Had to do something. Carlos said Carlos said y'all's assembly videos are fun, old man. Dude, I'm telling you, there's a reason why. So that's something that you get if you're a channel member. Our assembly videos are raw, very minimal editing. And when I say minimal, I mean we don't cut anything out. But sometimes I'm talking about something and it's easier for me to just like grab some B-roll and just show you what I'm talking about. So that's the limit to what I edit. I don't edit out. I don't take out stuff, but I might have to add something. Okay. And yeah, you guys get our raw reactions. If I stub my toe, which I won't, but if I stub my toe, you see that. There's nothing. We don't do anything to make ourselves look better. Y'all get, this is authentically who we are, and you get to hear the back and forth between us. To be honest with you, it's even worse when we're not on camera. All right, as far as like the teasing and all that kind of stuff. But hey, you got to keep your relationship fun. So let's see here. Hey, that's what I like to hear. He says Jared said it's only 4 bolts, so it's gonna be a quick assembly video. I'll figure out a way to make it long. You know how I do, man. You know how I do. That's a good question. Is it 12 gauge steel? So that would be a Jared question. I have not even taken mine out the box. So I think, in fact, I know they are claiming 14 gauge steel, but I want to say, Carp, that it's similar to the Mikolo bench, the Bastet, in that they have to, there are parts of it that might be 11 or 12 or even whatever, less, but they have to go with whatever the lowest gauge steel is. So if there's any part of it, or maybe I don't really know what I need to ask somebody who's a manufacturer, but it may be that whatever the major, I don't want to say, if there's a significant portion that's 14 gauge, you probably got to call it 14 gauge steel. So I don't know yet, but that's something that I will check out. Colonial Barbell Club, what's up? I'm not. This might be your first time on the show. I appreciate you joining us. Said good morning, everyone. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you for getting up way too early. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe for me. If this is your first time watching the show, there's like 787 of y'all watching right now. So I appreciate you all being here. Make sure you hit like and hit subscribe. Gotta make this thing grow. But I appreciate you being here. Let's see here. Eric said there's nothing worse than red and black. To be honest with you, there are several things that are worse than red and black. For example, orange. All right. Something I asked my daughter, because I just want to blow her mind. I said, why do they call it orange juice if it's yellow? Okay, there you go. That I'm just going to leave y'all with that. Why do they call it orange juice if it's actually yellow? You know, shouldn't it be yellow juice? But you know what? You don't need to answer that. You don't need to answer that. That is not the question of the day. And in fact, it's time for me to tell you the question of the day. All right. Question of the day is, hold up. Come on now. Question of the day. Where's my question of the day? Come on. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm looking for the question because I want to post it in the, there it is. Got it. I want to post it. I got to post it in the live chat. All right. Question of the day. Do you save certain purchases until Black Friday, or are you more likely to just buy it as you find out about it? So like, are you more likely to do impulse buys, maybe buy throughout the year, or do you like to save certain home gym purchases until the Black Friday sales? So go ahead, throw your comments in the chat. I want to know your answers. The question of the day is becoming one of my favorite parts of the show, to even go back and see y'all's responses on replay. So that's the question of the day. Do you save certain purchases until Black Friday sales, or are you more likely to impulse buy? Go ahead, put your responses in the chat. We already got one response from Trevor. T-Dog19 said it depends on the price and the need. That's it. Okay, I can see that. Colonial Barbell Club said, old fashioned. I'm waiting for the actual Black Friday. So I'll tell you, I am not actually a fan of Black Friday sales, okay? Like on actual Black Friday. And the reason for that is a throwback to how Black Friday was when I was younger. And it's, so back in the 20th century, you actually had to go somewhere to be able to take advantage of a Black Friday sale, right? So you spend Thanksgiving being thankful and talking about all the stuff you have. I love my family, all this other stuff, right? Maybe you play football after you eat yourself sick. It's all good times. Or you watch people play football, whatever. Then the next morning, you're up before the sun and you're out there. I mean, some people, back then, people used to like sleep outside. They sleep outside stores. And there'd be lines of people waiting outside Friday morning. And there was like fights, violence, because it was the first day of the sales for the Christmas holidays, right? And you'd see people going into the stores, and I mean, they throwing hands. All right, I'm talking about grandparents throwing hands, grandmas really throwing hands and purses, going at it. Like, look, you just spent yesterday talking about you're so thankful for everything you have all that, and now you're out, and now you're fighting people over stuff that half the stuff that you get, that you buy on their sales, you're not even gonna use. You buy junk for your kids, they're gonna not play with the toy, they're gonna play with the box, whatever. I used to hate Black Friday. So that's what I didn't like about it. I just felt like it took you away from your family to go do crazy things that you wouldn't do any other time of the year. Now that most of the stuff is online, I'm not as, I don't think it's a big deal. In fact, we actually have a Black Friday special episode where I'm basically gonna let a bunch of brands come on, and they're just going to tell you what they have on sale that day. So you guys, I'll be telling you guys more about that. In fact, I'll tell you guys about that at the end of the show. So make sure you stay tuned, watch the entire thing. Here's Carlos. Okay, there's always that dude. All right, gonna answer the orange juice question. It's orange juice because it's the juice of an orange, no matter the actual hue. All right, so let me ask you this. So the orange is called orange, the color orange is called that because it's the color of an orange, right? But all I'm going to say is all oranges are not that color. So again, certain oranges aren't actually orange. So do they lose their orange status if they're not actually orange? I'm just saying. That's all I'm asking. Heresy said Black Friday, there's always a new review coming out. Black Friday is a good time not to feel like you missed out. Jared says it depends on when I make my decision to buy. If it's close enough to November, yes. If it's January, I'm probably just going to order it. But of course, Jared also, good things happen to good people. Jared has a never-ending, it seems, supply of gift cards that he wins. His wife will win gift cards. He'll win gift cards. Hey, I ain't mad at you. Keep on doing it, man. You're living life the right way. Hey, look, man, I was born in 1973, okay? I remember when the year started with a 19, okay? I was born at the turn of the century. I embrace my age. Wow. Eric Echo said, this is a throwback, said, I got my first really big TV sitting in Walmart the same night that Mark Sanchez did the butt fumble. And now Mark Sanchez, fast forward to today, and he is from the butt fumble to screwing up your entire career because you crashed out with a senior citizen. Not only did you lose the fight, take an L in the fight, but you also went to jail and lost your entire career. That's not how you do it, son. That's not how you do it. Colonial Barbecue said, I remember the long lines at Best Buy for a TV. I'm telling you. I mean, Toys R Us was still, I remember when Toys R Us was still open, and before Amazon killed their business. And you see grandparents at Toys R Us. First of all, they don't even know what they're looking for. They got a list in one hand with a description of the item. They're fighting. So the number one, they're fighting over the item because there might be only like a limited supply of said toy that the kids gotta have. And then there's a limited number of people who can tell you where said item is. So they're fighting over who gets somebody to help them. It's pandemonium. Black Friday used to just cause havoc. All right. I'm telling you that I couldn't even tell you the number of rap sheets that probably got created just because of old school Black Friday. Carlos said, I think I do a lot more window shopping during Black Friday sale time. Mostly I buy when I feel the need. Carpenter's like, yeah, you remember? I said people used to get trampled. I'm talking about it was horrible. I'm not exaggerating. All right. You spend all year taking kung fu so that you could test out your skills on Black Friday. Harrison said those were the days. Carb's like, hey, I'm not getting killed over a $200 TV. I'm telling you, I don't think it was that stuff. I literally think it was the grandparents and parents fighting because they wanted to get whatever toy their grandkids or their kids say, hey, I got to have this thing. All my friends are going to laugh at me if I don't have it. I got to have it, right? It's never like anybody in there fighting over tube socks. Nah, they're fighting over toys for kids. And I'm like, man, after I went through all this, spent the night outside, you better play with this every day, daily. It's part of your schedule now. You better play with this thing because ain't nothing. Two things make me want to fight. If I were to spend the night outside on for black. Because first of all, you understand that it's starting to get cold by that time, right? I grew up in Maryland, so it's already getting cold. You out there uncomfortable, and then go in, got to go through all this. I didn't like going out doing stuff even then. I've always been a little bit lean and introverted. So I got to go out in the public and do all this stuff, fight through these crowds or whatever, get this thing, bring it home, and then you don't, and you play with it. First of all, you better not just play with the box, but then also you only play with it for a limited time. Nah, that's going to be round 2 of the fight. Nah. But yeah, that's it. Carlos said those lines around the corner used to kill me. Only did it twice. You living wrong the second time. You talking about you did it twice. I refused to do it. I would see the lines and just be like, that's not for me. I was like, what if they sell out before I can get there? I wasn't meant to have it. Trevor's like, nah, I don't have to leave the house. Exactly. Carlos said the real question is orange really, or is the orange really orange? Or is yellow actually orange? I like to say that yellow is like a light-skinned orange. That's what I think it is. That's really what I think. I think yellow is actually light-skinned orange. Okay. Hey, don't you worry about me discussing the hue of orange at 6:30 a.m. Let's see here. Letha said Black Friday sales aren't what they used to be. Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with like price increases and whatnot. The tariffs thing doesn't help, but there are some sales that, in fact, I'm going to tell you about if I ever get my act together on this show. But that sometimes the sale just kind of offsets the cost of the tariff. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Rob, Vintage Waste PGH has arrived. Rob definitely remembers Black Friday sales when people used to park out, sit outside. I mean, literally, they bought tents, sleeping bags to go buy something. You live without it all year long, and now you just absolutely had to have it. Trevor said, I worked at Best Buy through college. I was lucky enough to always close on Black Friday, so I avoided that insanity. So you came in after the initial rush, so that's good. Let's see here. Let's see. Keep it on here. All right, so I love this. I love this here. I'm not even putting that up on screen, Carlos. That's right. I'm just telling you, yellow is just light-skinned orange. Okay. Okay, this is a good point. And this last, then we'll close out our Black Friday conversation. Iron Clinic said, I will say there was something exciting about Black Friday being a one-day event. Then Cyber Monday started another one-day event. What's the Small Business Saturday? That's the other one, right? And then so now it's like we're at the point where it's like 2 months of Black Friday sales. So that's an excellent segue. JB TV says, good morning, gents. What's up, my man? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know the deal. Hit the like button. So let's see. I'm going to mention some sales, okay? But before that, I want to let you guys know that our channel recommendation collections are live. Some of you are like, what are you babbling about? Okay, so channel recommendations is something, like I said, there are a lot of changes that YouTube is just throwing out there, and we're trying to take advantage of the ones that we think make the most sense for you guys. So the channel recommendation collections is basically our recommendations if you're setting up your home gym, or you already got your home gym set up and you are, looking for ideas for improving it. And some of the stuff that we have in there is stuff that I don't see anybody else talking about, right? So the way that you find it, and I'm going to show you with ye old screen share, is you go to our channel homepage. You go to our channel homepage. It's going to look slightly different for you because you don't get the thing about customizing the channel. So what you see is all that stuff right there. And then you're going to see the menu where it's going to say home, videos, shorts, live. All right. Probably it's going to look like that when you get there. So what you want to do is go all the way across, go to store. All right. And the store is where you'll see the featured collections. All right. So the featured collections for us is we've got ladies home gym setup that's got 9 products in it. And it's versions. There's some crossover with the home gym starter kit. So the home gym starter kit, if you click on that, is basically everything that we think you need to start or upgrade your home gym without breaking the bank. And it's got a bunch of stuff in it. So, for example, I got the RitFit Gator adjustable weight bench in there. Got the Body Solid GPR 400. I've used that rack. I'm a big believer in Body Solid as a company because of lifetime warranty. And you see, it's like only $840, right? That's a basic heavy-duty rack, lifetime warranty. If you don't want to, people always talking about, oh, I want to buy something that's not going to be super expensive because I'm just starting out. Well, the GPR 400 is a great rack, 3x3. Sorry for those in the 5'8" who, 5'8" society, but it's 1-inch holes. But that rack is upgradable because then you can add the functional trainer attachment. So now you got the, So let me do that. Let's go back to here. Yeah, so then you could add the functional trainer attachment, either plate loaded or the stack to the same GPR 400. I'm not, I don't have any affiliation with Body Solid other than that these products in the collection, if you buy through the channel, we're going to get a small commission for sending people that towards them. But these are things that we actually believe in. Then I included the Spirit Fitness XT385. That's the treadmill that we've had for the last 3 years. It's a folding treadmill, heavy duty commercial grade. Love that treadmill. So these are, like I said, there's like 9 plus products in the starter kit. And then if you go back to if you check out the ladies home gym setup, it's got a lot of the stuff that Naomi likes. So there's stuff from RitFit, Bells of Steel. We recommended the Oblivion because that's the cable stack that we've tried. We've used it. We just don't own it yet, but we believe in that. And if you want to start out, I'll tell you something else that's in our starter kit that a lot of people would not. I don't really see people recommending is we've got our a brand, one of our favorite brands of garage door screens. Okay. And you may not think that's important, but guess what? Open up the garage door in the summertime and start doing squats. And when the mosquitoes and the flies and all that kind of stuff come in your gym, you'll be like, man, I should have listened to John. All right. So that's one of those things that you normally don't see recommended by people who are making recommendations for home gyms. We also have recommendation for different kinds of heaters, dehumidifiers, all that kind of stuff is in there. Like I said, it's literally everything we could think of. There are like 30 products in the home gym starter kit. I think there's 30 products in the ladies home gym starter kit. So there's a lot of stuff in there. And once again, go to the channel homepage, scroll across to the store and just click on it. All right. All right. Let's see. JB said I was like number 117. The like button has this. Man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that support. There are 1,373 of you guys watching. Hit the like button like JBTV did. I need you to do it. I need you to do it. Let's see here. All right. So that's it. Now we got time for quite honestly, we don't have time for any of the sales stuff that I've been promising you. So what I'll do is I'll just see. This is how the junk happens. I start talking about stuff. I have a plan. Then I get sidetracked talking about oranges, right? Thanks a lot, Carlos. But don't worry. We will just go ahead and we'll move the sales stuff for after I have our conversation with Jeff and Perrin. All I'll say is that right now, I'll just tell you that there are a lot of Black Friday sales that are going on. And in case some of you guys have to leave, I will mention this, that the Bells of Steel pendulum squat is live. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick so you guys can see it. Let's get rid of that. Yeah. All right. So the Bells of Steel pendulum squat is live. And you guys can, the reason why I want to make sure I don't miss it is because they are going, Bells of Steel is going live on Instagram today at noon Eastern, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So just go to, if you don't have the, if you don't know, the Bells of Steel Instagram, I'll go ahead and I'll post it here in the chat. But I think most of you probably know how to get to Bells of Steel Instagram. But just go to the Bells of Steel Instagram. They'll be live. Take your questions if you have any questions about the they're calling it the Pandemonium squat. Is basically the 3-in-1 pendulum squat, Viking press, calf raise, whatever. So make sure you do not miss out on that. That is it is a pre-sale, and in fact, let me go ahead show you guys here right now. Remove that. Go to this location. Bam, right there. All right, so it is a pre-sale. It's going to be shipping about April 25th. So you place your order now, you'll be getting it. It's going to start shipping out by April 25th. And 2026, and that price does include the shipping cost. So advantage of ordering it now is because it's cheaper now than it would be if you waited until later. So it's currently $1124.99 US, and that does stack with the build your own discount sale. So if you were to get if you were to order this pendulum squat, you're going to save 8% because you save 8% off of $1,000. All right. So there you go. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew about that. Make sure you guys are checking out that Instagram live later on today. All right. All right. So let's see here. Now it is time. It is 6:45. So it is time for the most popular segment. It's like I can move everything else around, but at 6:45, I've been informed that there's no other option but to do this.
It's the recliner of rage.
It's the recliner of rage, 'cause he's not happy.
Okay, let me tell y'all something. All right, there's a Dollar General in my neighborhood. It's technically not in my neighborhood. It's it's in the neighborhood because you got to go to get there. You got to go into the entrance of the subdivision, and you turn right, and there's a Dollar General. So that qualifies it as in the neighborhood. All right. This Dollar General has been there for quite some time. Thank God it was here during the ice apocalypse back in 2012, 2013. But I digress. They've got these yellow crash barriers outside, okay? And they need to take those down, okay? Because all those is a trap for unsuspecting fathers of a certain age like me, all right? So last Sunday, we come home from church, and we decided we needed to go patronize this establishment to buy things to drink, all right? So, all right, let's go. Me, my wife, my daughter. We get out of the car. We stop because my daughter said something. I forgot what it was. But we stopped, and I said, I'm interacting with her because I'm a good father. And I said, hey, baby, because I'm trying to encourage athleticism in my kids. All right. I said, hey, can you do this? And so, I know what it was. She put her foot up on the, I'm talking about it's a ballard. It's like the yellow barriers that are outside stores in case somebody can't drive so that they can't just drive into the side of the building. All right. So she puts her foot up on it. And I said, well, can you do this? And I said, can you jump up and touch it with your foot? Can you jump up and touch it with both feet before the first foot touches the ground again? Right. So the idea is you got to jump up, you touch it with the first foot, then you touch it with the other foot before your first foot hits the ground. And she's like, of course. Well, can you do it? I said, yeah, let me show you. Right. So I jump up. And I did it, but I didn't do it clean, right? I didn't do it clean. It was like I did it, but she was like, kind of like she didn't get it. I said, all right, I'll show you again. That was my downfall. I jumped up and I accomplished it. I want to make sure that you understand that I accomplished it, okay? I kicked it with my left foot, kicked it with my right foot. Then the dismount is where we had problems. My feet hit the ground, and I'm going to say they put Crisco right there, but something happened. I landed, and I was kind of off balance. But because I'm an athlete, I didn't just fall. So I tried to catch myself, right, by going backwards. So now in the squat position, kind of hopping backwards, trying not to fall down, right? Okay? I'm over 50 years old. This is ridiculous. I'm trying not to fall, all right? Getting closer and closer to the brick building, okay? And eventually I fall, and I'm laying there. Now, number one, does anybody try to stop me from falling? No. I'm gonna answer that for you right now. No, not my family, not my daughter, not my wife, not my daughter, not my family, nobody. No passerby. There are people in cars watching. They're all laughing at me. I know one of them had their phone out because that's the kind of world that we live in, okay? And I'm blaming Dollar General. Why? Because they knew I can't be the first dad to do something that his knees wouldn't allow him to do. All right? I know I'm not the first one, and they know that, and yet they got cameras. They see it, and yet they still got those pylons out there. I'm blaming Dollar General. If they weren't out there, I wouldn't have attempted the trick, and I wouldn't have fallen, and I didn't hurt myself, okay, because I am an athlete. I didn't hurt myself. I understand how to fall and all that kind of stuff. So I fell, nice, perfect break fall, got back up, bounced back up like a piece of toast, and I was ready for action. Now, in case you're wondering, yes, I have started a training program that consists entirely of training to kick that pylon successfully without falling. We do that every day since that day. That was last Sunday. I've probably done it a million times already because I am just practicing that in my home gym because there will be a rematch. I will avenge myself, okay? But let's just circle back. None of this would have been necessary if the pylons hadn't been there. You can't convince me it's not their fault. I refuse to be convinced. I refuse to be appeased. It's their fault. You're not supposed to put stuff out there that could lead to other people hurting themselves. Because what if it had been somebody who's not as amazing as me? All right? What if it was somebody who wasn't as skillful and coordinated as me and they actually fell and hurt themselves? Now, how you going to feel about yourself? Okay? How you going to feel about this yourself? Think about that before you go building stuff. Also, it was yellow, which, as we just established, is not an actual color. It's just light skin orange. That's all I got to say about that. That's it. That's all I got to say. All right. I see y'all talking about me. They're talking about plans fall out the window when you start throwing oranges. Hey, I told you, yellow is just light skin orange. That's the thing. That's what you learned today, kids. Well, y'all, you know what you also learned? Don't go to Dollar General. Don't go to, no, it better not be on the internet. All right. As T'Challa said, delete that footage. Delete that footage. All right. And that's my crash out. That is my crash out. I refuse to accept that it's not my fault. In fact, matter of fact,
It's the recliner of rage.
It's the recliner of rage, 'cause he's not happy.
okay. Now I'm going to calm down. Although, you know, now that I've finished discussing what is an obvious injustice and victimization of an innocent person, namely me, I'm going to calm down because we're about to go on LinkedIn and we got to be professional, okay? Everybody be on your best behavior. Make sure you're on your best behavior because we're about to go on LinkedIn. Well, maybe we're not. Oh, yeah, here we go. All right, so let's go ahead, add LinkedIn to the show. All right, Jeff and Perrin, we're about to be on LinkedIn. Don't act crazy in front of company. I see you guys backstage. Let's see. Oh, okay. We need to delete something. Let's see here. Get rid of that. All right. Boom. Okay, good morning. Shout out to the Central Time Zone and welcome to everyone who just joined us from LinkedIn. Please take a moment to click like on this video if you are watching from YouTube. And if you're watching on LinkedIn, please make sure you follow this page, Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life, so that you do not miss a single one of our interviews with content creators and with the decision makers at brands from around the world. Today, my guests are a husband and wife from New Hampshire, I believe. I know they're from New England, okay? And they started their YouTube channel so that they could share best practices from their incredible fitness journey. In just 7 months, they've made what, in my opinion, is a tremendous impression on the home gym community. And one thing that stands out to me is their enthusiasm for helping other people. You can see it come through in all the videos they do, all the Instagram posts that they make. It just stands out to me. And I love talking to people who are excited about sharing their, passing on what they've been blessed with using that to bless other people. I'm really passionate about that. And so I'm excited to have them on here. And I'm excited to talk about their journey today. Jeff and Perrin, thank you for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life. Here we go. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Morning, how are you?
I'm like this. I feel like that. What's up?
I feel like I just finished my last set of rear delt flies on the multi-flight.
Pixar didn't happen. All right, so let's be. All right.
I saw it happen. I promise.
You saw it happen? Okay, so let's begin by saying we're already off script because I want to point out most people who are watching this already know this, but for there's like 1,700 people watching, so somebody doesn't know. And I'm gonna say, you guys are in your living room, which is also your home gym. So when he says he just finished a set, he was like just over there doing a set, got done, came over and started, and sat down. All right. It's like just sliding into place. Like, hey, I'm like when you get to work late. Hey, I'm here.
Well, here's the funny part is the living room is full. So now the multi-flight, the assisted pull-up and the treadmill are in the hallway.
Good Lord.
So I was in the hallway.
He's
okay. In the hallway.
Yes.
Has the fire marshal been to your house? Because if
we don't
I recommend not letting him in. All right. I recommend they don't do home inspections for the inside of the house, and that's a good thing.
And when we go to sell the house, we're gonna move all that stuff out of there first.
You know what? What you do is you leave it. Okay, hold on. Leave it all as is, and only post yours when you go to sell the house. Only post a listing in like home gym related sites, because that way, because people are gonna be like, "Oh shoot, it's already set up." Because realistically, you guys are part of the community now, so you understand that there are people who buy a house based upon how home gym friendly it is. They're like, okay, like when we came to this house, I was like, I don't know about it, but then I looked at the garage and said, oh, okay, yeah, so we could put I started like mentally setting up the home gym, and Naomi knew I was sold. She said, okay, yeah, we got him. Yeah, he didn't like. I didn't ask any questions about the bathroom, nothing. I just, so I could put the home gym here, and I could have the whole thing. Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah. All right, so yeah,
the leg extension's coming in here.
It is not. This is my office. It is off limits.
Okay,
it's coming in.
I don't know. So let me ask you this question, because that sounded like a pretty emphatic declaration. It sounded strong. It was strong. But didn't I hear you say something about how originally you only agreed to the tonal being on the wall, and then slowly, but hold on, I'm just gonna. All right, I want you to see your face while I say this, and then slowly but surely, I'm just saying, like the fireplace used to be even wider, okay? Because you started getting more and more stuff in here. Everything's got like your space is just kind of shrinking. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Look, John, you got to approach the stuff this way. I am trying to increase. I'm trying to improve my health so I can spend more time with her.
Okay.
Right. Okay. How can she say no to that?
Easy.
This dude has been married for a minute. That sounded good. That sounded good. You convinced me. In fact, look at this. I'm a leader of men right here. JBTV said you will get lots of inquiries that ask, is this available if you just leave the home gym in the house listing? I'm telling you, you'll be like, is this still available? Is this still available? You put I don't know if you could put, I'm trying to think, there's not a limit on Facebook Marketplace. So you could probably post home gym, like you could post your house in the gym equipment for sale section as well.
Oh, yeah, that's actually very bright. That's a good idea.
You list all the equipment and just say house included.
He's not on right now, but he promises he's going to watch the replay of this. But Big Joey E said, because she's COO of a marketing company, is there a better power move when you're having a video call with your underlings, having workout equipment in your office?
I mean, I just, like you start out when you're doing your Zoom. What's the thing where it's like you doing I was watching, was it is it Get Parker? No, not Get it was Parker. Remember it was the Mel Gibson movie where he's like a former Marine and it's like a heist movie or something like that. And they swindled him out of it. And he wanted he's like, I want my $150,000. And people are like, nobody goes through all of this for just $150,000. Okay. The point of it all is Chris Christopherson is in there and he's like on the rowing machine, aggressively rowing while he's in a meeting with this aggressively rowing. Like you need to have your meetings. You're just in there say, oh, so you said we sales attack?
Oh, well, she could be doing leg extensions right here.
Not your fault at all. Okay, there you go.
Or leg extensions in front of the fireplace right there.
I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
Leg extensions by a roasting fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Our house was built in 1850. It's quite old.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it has what used to be a formal dining or a formal living room and a informal living room. Mm-hmm. So it's a great. So we still have an actual living room that we get to use. Mm-hmm. We just have another one that is now the home gym. And I will say, Jared, that we have now, I think, 8 lolly columns that are bracing underneath the hallway and that living room. Everything's fine structurally. We're just being proactive, right? Mm-hmm. And each lolly column covers what, 1,800 pounds? 18,000 pounds. Nice. So I think we're safe. We have prepared for the weight of the space and the integrity of the floor.
It's interesting because Kevin, who's in Japan, said that he also had to reinforce his floor because, first of all, home gym culture is not big in Japan, So Kevin had to, none of the houses were built with the idea that you were going to actually work out there. And I would assume that in the 1800s, first of all, people were smaller back in the 1800s. So, and then if they were going to be working out, they would be doing it outside if they were exercising. So the idea that somebody would actually work out in the house, I know is a foreign concept to them. Like, you're going to do what? So yeah, I can definitely imagine that.
I mean, it's weird because we have like 11.5-foot ceilings in the dining room, but in the basement, we have like 8-foot ceilings and it's old New England fieldstone. So it's all damp and everything would rust down there. So we can't use the basement anyways. So
yeah, there's not a, so even if you had a dehumidifier down there, you would spend all of your time just emptying the water.
I mean, there's spiders down there too.
Yeah.
She's not going to go down there.
There's too much dirt. And
do you understand the potential that you are wasting by not going down there? That's how Peter Parker got his big break. I'm just saying.
It's also where Buffalo Bill kept his woman.
That's true. But so what you do is you go down there. Actually, let me rephrase. You send Jeff down there. Let him send Jeff down there. Let him get bitten by the spider. And then while he's down there waiting for his powers to develop, he can also make sure Buffalo Bill's not down there. I mean, win-win. All right. I don't see the downside. Trevor said you need a different piece of equipment in each room. That way the price of admission is a few cents. That makes sense. Carlos says that the gym will raise your resale value. I'm telling you. I know if I bought a house, if I were house shopping and there was a home gym in it, I'm going to automatically be like, oh, does this come with it? And just, yeah. And to be honest with you, all jokes aside, we have a friend who's a realtor and he actually did a video for us where we talked about, it's on the channel. It's an older video. It's basically like during COVID when you're like looking for content. And I'm just like, I don't know what to put up. And my friend was, because people were making all of these elaborate adjustments to their homes. We didn't know how long lockdown was going to be. And so people were building, like doing stuff to their house so that they could work out in the house, converting. I mean, I know a dude who had a bench press in his kitchen. Okay. Well, I don't recommend that. I did do the video with my friend where we were talking about what the effect would be on your resale value of having a home gym. And he said, actually, that now the idea of having a room set aside for fitness is now actually something that people look for as a positive. They're like, oh, that's cool, because it's almost like saying like you having a home office, because so many people want to be able to work from home. It's like now you're able to use the entire house. So it actually does have some benefits. Let's see here. I don't know if I'm. Remember, I warned y'all we may not get to all the questions. I don't even know. I don't even know if we're gonna. All the comment section is where I'm going right now, right? So, Carlos said it's cute how Jeff acts like he's in charge in front of his friends.
I've got that down, don't I?
And Kevin is still watching. It's nighttime in Japan. He stayed up for this, right? He said, I might have to show your channel to my wife every time she tells me. She's like, you're adding more to the bedroom gym. Like, well, you know. I encourage you to not do that, Kevin. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because some wives will look at that and be like, oh, I need to nip this in the bud now because I don't want to end up in that. So that just, hey, look, do what you want. But I'm just saying, I ain't trying to say, I'm just saying. Rob says, I met these characters at Home Gym Con last year. I've been enjoying their YouTube ever since. Perrin and Jeff have a distinct voice and rhythm to their content. Good stuff. I 100%.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
I 100% agree. You guys even got the no wine seller out the building, okay?
Well,
you got him the week.
I stole his turkey from Home Gym Con.
Oh,
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. He said Jeff likes to steal the last chicken.
yeah.
That's hilarious. And Keith said, I love the old plastic and sand dumbbell in the basement.
We tried the basement first and put some, stuff down there, and our son would use it. And then it became clear that it was not going to make it as the home gym option. And so we left the things that we don't really use down there a little bit to just.
Was it a case of, I mean, because yes, Keith is correct. The basement can be fixed up, but sometimes you reach a point of diminishing returns, like what it would take to fix it. Is that basically the case?
It's not tall. There's not enough height down there.
You said it's 8-foot ceiling, right?
Yeah. So I mean,
okay. So that's common for the homes in like New England, because the heating was a problem, so they made the hallways narrower. You got 11-foot ceilings upstairs, but downstairs in the basement you got like the 8-foot ceiling. But I know a lot of people who have like their gyms in their basement up there, and they've all had to make tremendous concessions. Actually, what's his name? Golly, man, he just hit like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I cannot believe I forgot his channel name. I'll look it up. But basically, he cut out part of the basement ceiling for a piece of equipment. So like when he gets to that part, it's like, I was like, well, what does it look like upstairs? Like there's like this hump or whatever. He said like it's what's above it is a room that isn't really affected by it. But that's the extent of the changes you have to make if you're gonna put something in the basement. So I can see it doesn't quite, the juice may not be worth the squeeze to continue with the oranges theme that I've been trying to get away from.
It's a 100-inch rack that's in the living room, so that's not going to fit down there.
No, it's not. Definitely not. So but to your point, that's why I think a lot of the manufacturers who are on the East Coast, when they make a residential or home gym rack, they usually make it like 82 inches. And I'm always like, why are these short racks, right? Because we've got it's 100 inches with stall mats from the top of the stall mats to the bottom of our ceiling in the garage. And I'm like, I'm not the tallest person, I'm 5'9", but still I want a rack that's taller than 82 inches. You know what I mean? So let's get at least one question from the list that I worked so freaking hard on out of the way. Sorry, mommy, but my mom hates it when I say freaking. Sorry. You guys have a fairly young channel. Your oldest video is like 7 months old. But I think 7 months is long enough to start figuring out your style. As Rob mentioned, you guys have a distinct voice, so you've had time to figure out that voice. Have you settled on like a standardized process for doing like your content? Or are you still testing different approaches?
I'm gonna take this one.
She doesn't want me to answer
You've talked
this.
enough.
So.
We're good.
No. You used up your authority on the leg extension by the fireplace.
This is a look into our life right now.
Oh, yeah.
I see. That's why you got the big screen. Go ahead.
Fight for my time to talk. But yeah, no, when we first started, we were looking at blending the work we did on Tonal. Tonal was our first foray back into our fitness journey. And we were looking to blend the smart gym kind of technology with the regular home gym equipment, because what we figured out was that there's a giant community in home gym community, and then there's a very significant tonal community, and they don't really know that much about each other, right? So the idea was to blend those two communities. And what we also were looking to do, or as we have grown, we have figured out that there are a lot of people out there reviewing equipment, and they're all very similar in a lot of ways. And so we wanted to try and find a way that is unique. And because we both like a little bit of the theatrical at times, and a little dramatic at times. I'm never dramatic. We decided to go with more of a story-driven focus and really talking about the integration of products into what we do, but also more about the company and what the people are within that company and why things are done the way they're done, and less about just specs. So that is a little bit of how we have tried to adjust the focus on our content, just to stand out a little bit more from the average review.
I really love that. And brands, if you're watching this, I hope you just heard what she said. She's basically saying they help you tell your brand story, which is not something that you typically get if you just send a product out. It frustrates me to no end, if I let it, that there are countless brands out there who are quite willing to send you some gadget they make, but they're not willing, and it may be a $6,000 piece of equipment, but they're not willing to spend 30 minutes with you to just unpack why they do what they do, to answer questions from consumers or potential customers. They're not willing to spend that time. And I get Trevor made a point, and it was a good point. T-Dog19, he said, sometimes brands are concerned about their image. Like they don't want to do an interview, for example, especially not a live one, and say the wrong thing. Right. So I think that the way you guys do your videos is kind of like a bridge. So for brands who are nervous about that sort of thing, you could do things like when you went to Anchor and you say, hey, we're going to go into this, but it wasn't live. So they have a chance to edit it. They don't edit it, but you have a chance to edit it, let them check it out. And so that they can make sure that their brand image, their brand message isn't diluted or doesn't go in the wrong direction. So I really like that. And I love that you guys are consciously trying to be different, because there's so many. I mean, it started out, so I've been in the home gym community. Well, I've had a home gym since 2001, but I've been following the home gym community since like 2015. And so I've seen like how things come and go. And there's too many creators who think they just need to copy what somebody else has done. So they want to be the next Basement Brandon. They want to be the next Gluck. And I'm like, just be the first to you. And I know that sounds corny, but I think that you got to come at it from the standpoint of people want to watch this and be entertained by it. There are people who watch this just for entertainment. Don't bore them to death. You know what I mean? Be different.
I look at it like, who's more qualified to give you the specs on something, me or Gluck? I'm not going to compete with Adrian. I mean, right. So what can we do that's fun for us? Because I don't want to stand up there in front of the camera and spew a bunch of specs and be like, thank you for my free item you sent me. This is what it is. I want to tell a story because it's fun to create that type of stuff.
Exactly.
It also blends a little bit. As you can see, there is a bit of a repartee that goes back and forth. And so it allows us to kind of show a little bit more of our personalities in that respect as well, which is something that I wanted to focus on.
So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have Naomi start doing videos with me, because what she likes a lot of times is dramatically, it's like 180 degrees separated from what I like. For example, she hates aggressive knurling. So the exact thing that will be so the thing that will be a selling brands. Are you watching? All right. So the thing is that you have people who are very, very vocal. They're mostly men, they're very vocal about how aggressive this knurling needs to be, and they'll downplay something and say, "Oh, yeah, the knurling just wasn't this," or "I wish it was this." Brand, so that's the only voice the brand hears. They're like, "Okay, well, I guess we need to make the knurling more aggressive." And Naomi is like, "Absolutely not. I have zero interest in that. Now that you ruined the," that's what she'll say. You ruined the knurling, right?
Yep.
So so that's one thing that I really like is that about the fact that you guys are doing your reviews together, because we get the advantage of both of your perspectives. And I think it's fine to do a review and say, I didn't like it. And you say, no, I actually loved it, because you represent two different parts of the potential customer base. Let's talk about tonal, because you mentioned tonal. I see there's Carp. Shout out to the FOC and the Replay Gang. Carp is the president of the Replay Gang, in case y'all didn't know. He said, to be fair, tonal in the living room doesn't count as a home gym. So my thing is, first of all, that's a little bit tongue in cheek, but I know that there are people out there, probably in the tonal community, who don't consider what they have as a home gym, which is probably why they're separate from the home gym community. They think of the home gym community as like people who have gyms like what you guys have now. And I've always said, no, if you've got a dedicated space where you train fitness, that's your home gym. I don't care if it's got a couple resistance bands in it. What do you think?
I will say this one thing, and I'll let him then go on about tonal, because he has very strong opinions now. But
that's perfect.
I will say the thing that we found in using in joining the home gym community or integrating into that, and then having a tonal, is the accessories. So the accessories are key, because it's like a functional trainer, right? So with that, you have all these accessories that you could potentially be utilizing to change up your workouts and change up the what you're targeting based on the accessory. And that's where the integration, and if you have a whole space full of different accessories and you're using it on tonal, that to me does equate to a home gym, right? Like that is, because you can fill up a whole room with accessories. I know he's done that. So yeah, that's, for me, that's what made the difference, was those accessories, that, but also the hybridness, because it can be used as a functional trainer. So, but I will let him, he does want to speak about tonal, so I'm going to let him.
Okay.
Go.
I have to do.
Well, hold on. I'm going to ask you a question, Jeff, and it's about tonal.
Okay. Well, let me do something first so I can talk.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hey, look, I'm going to just tell you something. None of us, we're going to laugh. None of us are going to help you when you get in trouble with your wife. We may watch, and you're like, you're a parable. Yeah, don't be like that guy was, okay? But my question about the tonal thing is, based upon your experience, we just heard what she thought. All right. Based upon your experience with tonal, would you recommend it to somebody who was starting out, especially if they don't have fitness experience, nervous about maybe going to a public gym, and they're like, well, what can I do here at the house? Would you specifically, Jeff, recommend tonal as a good starting point?
Let me preface this by saying that I've been put in timeout in their official tonal community before. So
excellent.
I tend to speak my mind about that. And yes and no. It's a home gym, whether you want to admit it or not. You can do everything on the tonal that you can do with free weights. You can do actually more on the tonal than you can do with free weights, because there's Bluetooth handles, so you can turn your weight on and off at the actual bar or the handle, so you can get into position better. It's expensive, about $5,000. There's a continuing subscription that you have to pay. We made the mistake of going to New York and going to their tonal lab and hanging out with all the coaches again, who we love. So we upgraded to the tonal 2. And then about a month into the tonal 2, we're already replacing it under warranty. So that's a tough one to answer. If you've got limited space, you want something that's going to build programs out for you, their Facebook community is great, because all of their coaches are in the Facebook community. So you feel like you become friends with these coaches and they're talking to you. So there's all of this, they're just helping you move forward. And that's what they've nailed. Speediance doesn't have that. They don't have that community where their coaches actually talking to people, where you feel like you bought into the system, like you're part of something. But I got the GetRx Viper in about a month ago, and I haven't even turned the tonal on since then.
Well, I have. He has.
Okay, so but that goes back to again, like what it is you're trying to get out of it. And I can understand, like, if you feel like the company vibe doesn't fit you anymore, I start to lose interest in using companies' products if I feel like they're not.
Yeah.
That's what happened with me and Rep Fitness. I don't even have I might have one Rep Fitness product in the house now. But I'm not 100% sure if I still have, if I have anything. Like, I don't want to say there's nothing down there, because obviously, you know, I'll go down there and as soon as I get down there, I'm like, oh, there it is. Oh, okay, never mind. I do have something, right? But that's kind of like what happened is like you have to, I like to use stuff from companies that I support, especially when the stuff might end up, without me even thinking about it, it might end up in a video. Because I'll be doing something, talking about something completely different, and somebody will say, hey, what brand of whatever is that in the background or whatever, right? And so I'm really, really conscientious about what I have in my videos. It's interesting that you said that Speediance doesn't have that community aspect, though, because for me, if you're a beginner, that's what you really need. Yeah, it's great having somebody tell you what to do, but like Naomi, shout out to Ladder. Naomi loves the Ladder community, and part of the reason is because of that feedback she gets, the high fives and all that stuff. Yeah. Now I got another whole different thing with Peloton, because their whole bankruptcy thing they have going on right now, that's a big deal. And I'm concerned. Like, I would personally never buy a Peloton at this point. I wouldn't. I can't recommend anybody do it because I don't know what's going to happen to the company because of the bankruptcy situation.
Right. And here's the funny part is one of their coaches is now a tonal coach just in the last couple of weeks. So
I 100% agree. Well, I mean, I understand. I don't blame him. I mean, literally, the dude who was in charge of, and this is shots fired at Peloton, but the dude who was in charge of Peloton is now working in like the rug industry. He doesn't even work. I mean, yes, seriously, he's like he's gone. He's like, I'm out, right? Because basically they were overselling units and didn't tell the investors, hey, this stuff is all just sitting in warehouses. And now they're having to raise. That's why you see all these Peloton initiatives, whatever, because they're trying to raise money, because they're potentially having to pay back investors. It's still tied up in court right now. But anyway, so that's that leads to my next question. Have you tried products like there's the Ike, all these like basically mirror alternatives, like, well, there's the mirror, there's the Ike, other, I would call them tonal competitors. Have you tried those?
So here's the funny part. At Home Gym Con, we talked to Ray at Speediance.
Okay.
And
shout out to
we
Ray.
said, you know, we're like longtime tonal owners. We know all about it. So we started talking about the community where the coaches are in the community every day, making relationships with the owners of tonal. Speediance doesn't do that. So she's taking down all these notes. And I said, we'd love to bring one in and do a comparison about this. And she won't even return any of my emails or messages.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just,
Okay. So Jason said,
wait, oh yeah, go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off, but Jason just said that he says Speediance does have the online community. That sounds very familiar to what Jeff described of tonal. So I don't know anything about their online community. We got the Velanix downstairs, but I don't use any of the Speediance products. Right. That's just not my vibe. But I want to hear more about that, Jason. So if you can expand on that a little bit in the comments, I'll go ahead and I'll throw them up on screen. But what were you going to say, Perrin?
I was going to say, it's our understanding that the coaches aren't as engaged. They have a community, but it doesn't involve the coaches as much.
Okay.
Tonal has. So the tonal coaches, I like, for my birthday a couple of years ago when we first started using tonal, Jeff got me one-on-one training with my favorite tonal coach, right? Like we went to New York and he gave, and now that guy's a friend. Like I would consider him a friend. And so it's a definitely, I will say, Tonal as a company has turned us off. We still adore the coaches. I still have lots of friends in that community. I'm still in that community. I don't use it like I used to. I think it's a great tool for someone starting out, especially women. Okay. And I say that because there is I know a lot of women are scared about not knowing enough and going into a gym, a public gym, and having all of these very large men at times, sometimes not large, but just a lot of men in the space because it's more male dominant space, right?
Sure.
And it's very intimidating, and all these machines, and am I doing it right? And the advantage to the Tonal is they build out these programs with a target goal. They have metrics, right? So there's lots of data. I love data, get data junkie. So they give you all the data, but they give you someone who's actually showing you the move. They have a correction thing, a camera that can correct your movement and give you feedback. It's just a great tool for someone who's new and very intimidated about joining that community, and just builds confidence in that way. And I mean, I grew up with brothers and around sports, and I was a power lifter in high school. So even, I mean, that was a long time ago. And so even I was a little intimidated to get back into it. And Tonal really just takes the guesswork out of it. If you say you only need 30 minutes of a workout, it builds a 30-minute workout, and you don't go over 30 minutes unless you make it over 30 minutes, right? So there's so many advantages for people that are just new to this space. But it is an expensive advantage, right? Like you really have to want to invest in this. Otherwise, it's like buying a very expensive Peloton treadmill or bike or rower like we have, and then never using it. So
100%.
that's yeah.
So Jason said, yeah, the Speedians group feels more like affiliates looking to answer questions and refer people to Speedians support than the actual coaches being on there. So that's
Ray was like, the coaches are in the group, and I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't they be? They're being paid by Tonal.
Yeah. Carb said, yeah, I've been joking around, but I think women starting out or somebody like my wife would really like something like a Tonal or Speedians. I'd say actually, so something you said, Perrin, made me kind of like laugh to myself, because my first job out of college was at a public gym. Worked there for 5 years. And actually, I've worked at the YMCA and some other places too. I think the greatest danger to women, and anybody who's watched this is a woman who might say, "Okay, well, I'm ready to join a gym because I want to start working out." The biggest danger to women, in my opinion, isn't that the guys are going to be staring at you. It's that they all think they know how to do the exercises, and if you don't know how to do the exercises, some idiot, I guarantee you, who has no idea what he's doing, is going to come over there and tell you the wrong way to use whatever it is, because he's convinced he knows what he's. And I'm talking about, I've seen some egregious things. You come in like, and then you say, why are you doing that? And then say, oh, because isn't how you do it? I say, nah, who told you to do that? Him. It's like, so I'm like, seriously, I used to spend half of my time telling women, people in general too, but women especially, like, no, that's actually for you. No, you actually stand up and hold that in your hands. That's not for your feet. No, because they've seen all kinds of stupid things. If you think about the gym fail videos, you see all this weird stuff. There's some dude out there who taught somebody else that, and they thought it was a good idea, or somebody saw it and said, oh, that's probably how you do it. And then they end up getting miseducated. So that's like one of my pet peeves about that. And then the other side of it too is like, I mean, this is a little something that most people don't know about me is I don't wear shirts with writing on the back at all. I don't wear upper body garments with writing on the back unless I have no choice. And the reason for that is I don't like having people stand behind me long enough to read my shirt, because I don't like having people behind me. All right. That's a side effect of working as security in clubs, from being in deployed to Iraq. I don't like having people behind me. So I understand actually women who go in and like, I don't want to be somewhere where there are people just staring at me. It feels uncomfortable. So I completely 100% get that. So since we dragged Tonal, who would you recommend to somebody then if you're not recommending Tonal? Or have you not found a replacement yet?
Well, the replacements are Viper. And we have a video coming out for GetRx where I'm going to actually not compare the two against each other because they're completely different. We're going to compare the cost of ownership and what you get from them. So like I said, for the last month, I've only been using the Viper. So anything that I would have done on the Tonal, I've been able to replicate on the Viper.
Okay.
So.
But and that's his replacement, right? I will
Mhm.
use the Viper as well, but for people that are wanting something programmed, right? Like there are so many more programs out there that actually walk you through how to use them within a gym, right? And so I think that there are um I mean, I use Jordan Lips. He's my trainer, right? And he
Okay.
has a program called WOMP or Where Optimal Meets Primal, right? And
Okay.
he focuses on women, and that is his strong suit. And he builds the program for not as expensive a cost, right? He actually lets you send him form videos, and he tells you and shows you how to use the equipment in video so that women feel comfortable going into gyms and doing the movements and knowing which
Right.
machine to use and how to do it. And he builds it out for them based on how often they want it. You know, they can pick and choose, right? And it's an affordable way. If you can't afford a tonal or you can't, so there, and he's not the only one, right? There's RP,
We're not going to talk
Renaissance
about that.
periodization, and like there's all these different options out
Yeah,
there.
this stuff. I mean, even some of the brands like Major Fitness, I just, for example, just saw. I don't know how good this is. Okay, I just saw that they have it as an option. They've got an app with exercises and things like that. I think more and more brands are coming, equipment brands are coming out with apps to kind of bridge this gap because they recognize you're going to buy this stuff. Now you need to, they're understanding that everybody who buys stuff doesn't know how to use it.
Right.
And Kinsey said this, she's getting flashbacks from when I was talking from lifting at a public gym. I always hate watching the girls with their boyfriends getting taught everything wrong. I'm just like, please stop. That man must be stopped at all costs. Like it just, it's horrible.
Well, and we'll say we just reviewed Mikolo and
Yeah.
one of their racks, and that is one thing that they
The
have, right?
Anubis.
They have this community, the
Yeah.
Anubis, and they have this community, and they have movement, a movement library, and
Yeah.
again, that's brands should start doing more of that. Anchor has a similar thing on how to
Mhm.
use the Anchor, and I think it's super important for people that aren't in this community, they don't do this kind of stuff all the time, to
Right.
educate them. And because technology is so important in everything else we do, and it is infiltrating everything, there is an opportunity to blend technology with regular home gym stuff, the
Yeah.
hybrid effect. And that's what we are trying to focus on, is that hybrid effect and how to use smart tech with home tech. With home gym stuff. And I think that's important. It's an important aspect.
Well, I
No,
mean, not everybody has an NASM certified personal trainer
Oh,
in their house with them.
yeah, I mean, but no, that's a very good point. It's like, but here's the other thing. So I was certified by the NSCA back when I was doing the work. You know, I had my CSCS, all that other kind of stuff. Do you think my wife came to me first when she wanted? Heck no, right? And there's some valid reasons for that because it kind of changes your relationship dynamic. You have to be okay with somebody like telling you you did something wrong, even if it may come across as you being attacked, right? And that can affect the rest of your relationship, the other 23 hours of the day, even if you are able to kind of phrase it in a diplomatic way, right?
I'm not
But
always diplomatic.
yeah.
yeah, I'm seeing that, but it's okay. It's okay.
I mean,
First of all, you admitted it, so that's growth.
Normally, she understands when it's not fitness related that she walks 2 steps behind me.
Mm.
I let him think he
This entire video can be used as evidence in her defense at the trial. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, and I, we're spending more time than I anticipated on this, but I do want to say I think it's important because so many of us who are watching, and in fact, so many people who are watching have this view that the home gym is like the man cave, right? And I'm very passionate about the fact that if you want, so you work out, the idea is that you're going to get healthier, you're going to live longer, right? So at a certain point, don't you want the person that you're married to also live longer? Or you want to be single at 70 trying to figure it out? You know what I mean? I'm just like, what are you doing? I mean, figure out, like, it doesn't even make sense to me. I'm like, I'm a big believer in making things accessible. And if my wife said, okay, well, I want to start working out, but I don't want to use the stuff that you got, and something like a Expedience or an Ike or even a Tonal or heck, Beachbody, who's now Body, they're actually relaunching a lot of their programs. If she wanted to do something like that, I'm 100% on board with it. And I think the cost is worth it because we got well over $5,000 worth of stuff downstairs. Right. So for me, when somebody says, well, this piece of equipment is very expensive, I'm like, well, what can you do with it and how long can you have it? Because let's divide that out by 10 years, 15 years of use and subtract some doctor visit costs from that. Now that's how I look at it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys make your how-to videos. You focus in on the tips and tricks that we're talking about. You went so far as to go on a cruise specific. And I know the only purpose was to get the content for us. So I appreciate the sacrifice.
There was torrential rain almost every day.
Oh my God. Geez. So first of all, I want to hear about that experience, but also the content. Have you seen like the content that you enjoy creating the most? Is that also aligning with the content that your audience likes to watch?
It's tough because we're so small. So what happens is like I am always watching the metrics in my YouTube channel. I don't understand any of it, but I'm watching it and trying to.
He's like, I'm looking. I see it all. I just don't know what it means. I got you.
I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, it's self-taught here, so
yeah, I understand.
It's like, and it drives you nuts because you're like, YouTube will push it out to people who aren't really interested in what you're talking about, and you'll see your CTR drop, and you'll see your attention numbers drop, and it's like,
look at you using terms. Look at that. That's the click-through rate. All right, that means people saw your video and they actually clicked on it to watch it. Kids, all right, go ahead. Look at you using terms.
I'm trying to learn all that, and it's like, what is going to work for us? But until we get bigger and we actually build a real organic audience, it's hard to tell what's actually going to work for us. Because it's real. I mean, it's slow. It's really slow building this stuff in the beginning.
So let's start right there. Everybody go subscribe to @Paired and Powered Up on YouTube. This is it. I love the color choices that you make the thumbnails pop, which means, so basically, if I look at your thumbnail and it's small, does it, I mean, you know what this means, but I'm saying for other people, it's like, do your thumbnails pop out? Like, do people notice them? Because they're going to be in a mishmash on somebody's homepage in the recommended things, well, along with a ton of other videos. It's like, well, do my videos stand out? I really like, hold on, there's the one that so this one right here, this where is this the ultimate one? That's got 6.2 thousand views. What I like about that is while the title, the words on the screen aren't necessarily big, that image of Perrin is eye-catching. It's like what you're doing right there is like it immediately, like my eye, even though I've already seen it, my eyes immediately drawn to it as soon as I go to your page, your channel page, because it jumps out like, well, is she praying? Is she grateful? Is she thankful? She's scared? What's going on? I at least want to find out more, right? Also, the one that you guys did for Kodo Gi Grips, again, it's Perrin's face, and she's like, like the exaggerated YouTube things. This one here where you're doing the first look of the anchor, you've got Jeff. You notice that those are the videos that are doing the most numbers on your channel.
I want to give a shout out to our son, who
you share custody. I got you. Okay.
Everything is hers here.
Who graduated in May with a marketing degree and has been finally got a job. Amen.
Nice.
But he in the interim has really helped and has embraced helping us with our channel and helping do our video shoots, but also creating our thumbnails. So definite shout out. I mean, with Jeff's direction, but he is the creative mastermind behind actually making it happen. So a shout out to our son Connor, who is very, very helpful in the work that we're doing.
I mean, yeah, it's like that's so for some people, it's you have AI as an option now, but honestly, I don't necessarily think that AI at this point necessarily is helping people yet. I do think that probably as we go along with like AI is more and more influential in search, that there's probably, this is just my suspicion, that AI is going to seek out AI things that have an AI influence. So probably AI generated thumbnails are going to start being more and more recommended because the AI of the algorithm is going to seek them out preferentially compared to us just making stuff on Canva or whatever. But I can just look at your channel, and universally the ones with the most eye-catching thumbnails have the, I mean, you got the 10,000 views one from the cruise. That's like one of the most interesting thumbnails you have on the channel, right? And so I think that that's at least one thing right there that you can use as a metric in terms of saying like, well, what works and what doesn't. Have you gotten feedback from people?
Here's the funny thing is while all that's great and what's working, what's not working, we also want to make content that we want to make. Like, we're probably never going to get monetized. We're never going to do this as our full-time job. This is just kind of a hobby, and it's really fun, and we're trying to do. So it's got to be content that we have fun doing, or it's just not worth doing to us.
Okay.
So that's why we're doing the whole story-driven thing.
Right.
And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, well, I mean, I'm going to keep doing it. So
I got you.
Well, and I will say this, I don't know what he's talking about. When he retires, he needs to bring in more money because I can work for a long time. Yeah, we want to get to a point where potentially he could bring in some income from this effort. We know it's not going to be, but I also want to say this because I think a lot of people think this is easy. It doesn't take that much time to do some of this stuff. And I will say this is another part-time job for us. We both work full-time, and it is very time consuming. And I want to give also a shout out to Jeff because he is a self-taught editor, and he just has the ability to visualize things and incorporate things that are engaging and eye-catching and fit the flow of the story. And so I did, yeah, Eric. I want to just note that it is not easy for those people that think it is. It takes a lot of work, and we spend a lot of time. And I will say that we don't have to have similar working style because we just are very different people.
right, I'm a hard worker.
Oh, hush.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I work.
It's been a murder.
John, let me explain why I can get away with this. She makes so much more money than I do that if she was ever to divorce me, I'm set up.
Yeah,
I don't feel like that's as secure for you as it may sound on the surface. That sounds no. That doesn't, no.
I mean,
it doesn't
unless
even
you put
sound.
me in the hole in the basement.
I mean, do you know? So I'm gonna just tell you that women tend to watch those murder shows a lot more than men do. So they've got strategies. See, yeah, see how she just sat back like, yeah. They got strategies for hiding bodies and all kinds of. Let's just move on.
We have designated friends who help us get rid of the bodies. I'm just
saying. See what I'm saying? It's like, oh, Kevin's, you just got a subscriber. Kevin said, I just subscribed now. Heading to bed, but let me know which video do you feel, and I think this is a great question. Which video do you feel is a very good introduction to your channel? He said he's gonna check out the replay as well. I appreciate it, man. Shout out to Caden and Haku.
I mean, if I had to pick one, the Kodo Grips one was probably the most fun one that we've done.
Yeah.
Telling his story. Love that. Love doing that video.
Do you have a video that's I'm sorry to cut you off, but do you guys have a video did you do an intro video to the channel?
We've been told to, we just haven't yet.
We've started doing so much content and getting so much in and feeling this sense of obligation to be timely in our reviews when people send us stuff. That's something that I'm trying to work with him on, is realistic expectations. But I think that part of the thing with us is that we want to tell our fitness journeys and our weight loss journeys. Both of us have lost significant weight over time. And so one of the things, so it just is taking a little bit longer to kind of create the story around, because his has taken 2.5 years, mine has taken 10 years. And so it's, we both have very different ones, and how to blend those two stories together into an intro video is what we're working on. But it's, I will say that one of the things that I really love is getting to know the company and getting to know the people. And that
Right.
for me, I work for a company that the people are what we try and make important. So we like to do people and culture over profit. And that's hard in the business world because profit is important. Profit is growth, right?
Yeah.
And so when we are telling these stories, we're trying to really focus on the people and the culture. And we met Kodo Grips. Tell me his name. Why can I not remember?
David.
David, thank you.
Tell David he's probably watching. I'm really sorry
he
that
is.
he did not remember his name.
He is watching. But
Sorry,
so,
David, I blame perimenopause.
She is old.
We loved
Oh.
meeting David at at a home gym con, and really getting to know David there, and then getting to tell his story because we think it's yeah, he's right. It's my favorite video that we've done. I love it.
I don't think that it's a bad thing that you guys haven't done your kind of like channel intro video, because I mean, I've probably redone ours 3 or 4 times where it's time to redo it again because channel changes. I think the importance of the video is you never know when somebody's going to see it, but then also if you do it right, you can cut it up and use it, like change the formatting and use it as like a commercial for the channel on like Instagram or something like that. And it's just kind of like, it's just basically like, hey, this is who I am and this is what to expect if you watch the channel. It's kind of like a channel, it's like a movie trailer almost, right? But at the same time, it can be misleading, or not misleading, but it can be like, okay, well, I say our channel, for example, our channel is about helping you set up your home, giving you the tools that you need to succeed as an athlete who trains at home. And now I have to say it's from the perspective of a man or a woman, right? When I first did it, it never occurred to me that I needed to specify that this is for anybody, male or female, because I just said, well, to me, I just said athlete. And it's obvious that they're male and female athletes. But a lot of women still thought, hey, this is just a channel for men. I would get comments, oh, I think your husband would love, my husband would love your channel. I need to let him know about it. I'm like, well, what do you think of it? You're the one watching. You saw the video, right? But we didn't start to get more women watching the channel until Naomi started making videos. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to kind of like, it's one of those things. It's like where if somebody, you meet somebody at a party to say, hey, what do you tell me about yourself? Well, what you tell them is going to change every 10 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the thing that's important about you or that you feel is important about you is going to change every 10 years. Tell me, because you mentioned this, people look at the plus side of being a content creator. Oh, you're getting free stuff. You didn't have to pay for anything. It's so easy. And also they don't care. All right. Just like, in fairness, I realized that, when they were filming Game of Thrones, there are probably days when the actors were cold. I don't care. What I care about is, did I enjoy the show? Okay. I don't care about the suffering of the actors. and they don't care about the suffering of us as content creators. But it can eat into when you have 2 full-time jobs, you've got your relationship with each other. Now you added creating content. That other stuff doesn't go away, but it can start to fall by the wayside. How do you, number one, stay consistent with your own personal fitness journeys while creating content? Because that's the thing that slipped for me. It's my own. I said, oh, well, I'm supposed to be working out. Oh, I just got an idea for a video. And instead I do that. Or I need to just give me 5 more minutes and let me finish this, and then I'll go work out, right? How do you maintain your own personal fitness? I want to hear from both of you. And then also, how do you still remember to carve out time for each other where you're not talking about paired and powered up, where you're just being husband and wife?
People do that?
Hopefully.
So for me, like clockwork, 5 days a week working out, never missed it. My diet was always perfect, always hitting my macros. Started content creating, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm missing workouts now, trying to cram my food in. Like my role at UPS shifted. I'm back driving now. So it's like getting into Christmas, and I'm like, how am I going to balance this. Like right now, I have no clue how I'm going to balance it all because I do my UPS job and I'm probably spending 20 hours a week, if not more, just on the channel on top of that. Then, of course, she's like, do you want to go watch a high school football game? And I'm like, watch a high school football game. We got content to create. So, we're still working on that balance.
Dude, I completely understand that. It's so tough for me to take vacations. I'm like, first of all, we're spending money that's not coming back in. That's how I look at a vacation now. It's like, that money is not coming back in. Not, oh, cool, we get to go do this cool thing. I'm like, where's the ROI for that? How are we going to get, do you think that we could get the hotel to pay us for using their hotel if we did a video? Like, that's how I think now. And it's like, I have to like be talked back down off the ledge a whole lot. Perrin, what were you going to say?
He makes fun of me, but there are elements of self-care that I won't give up. So I get my nails done. I get my lashes done. I get my hair done, although it's been a while, sorry. Self-care is important to me. High school football to me is self-care. That social engagement, that social experience, that time with my friends and being out. I work in my home. I work out in my home.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I need that. I'm very social and I need that social engagement. I go to a boot camp twice a week. I don't need to go to a boot camp. Like, I don't need it necessarily physically. I need it mentally. I need it emotionally. So for me, it's emphasizing self-care. Yes, he's annoyed that we're going to have to spend all Saturday watching his alma mater football team play my alma mater football team that my brother's the high school football coach of, right? Like, he's annoyed because we're going to be gone all day Saturday and we lose a whole day of content creation.
Yep.
For me, I'm going to let him be annoyed because for me, it is self-care. And it is mentally and emotionally important to me. So I try and pick my battles, right? We do argue about content creation. And when I'm like, I don't want to be in front of a computer anymore, I'm in front of a computer all day long.
Right.
But it is a balance that we're still trying to figure out. When am I going to go grocery shopping? Am I going to have to carry them in myself? Because that used to be the deal. I would go shop, they would carry them in, and so it is a balancing act. And it's a balancing act that changes, right? Like, we might balance it a little bit now. And then something may shift or change, like his job and the time he works, or the time I work, or it gets darker outside, or, things change, and you have to be flexible. If you're too rigid, even in your workout stuff, you're going to mess with your mental and emotional game. And those are just as important as your physical in that respect. And so for me, my workouts have taken a hit. But that was also partly because I had shoulder surgery. So I'm having a hard time coming back into it. But I'm getting there. So
I think it's so Naomi's in a similar situation to you. She works from home, sometimes long hours, because people who work from home tend to work longer hours than people who don't. Because, like, I feel I'm already at work as soon as I get in the car to drive there, right? Because I'm officially doing something I don't want to do. Once I get in the car, I'm officially doing something you got to pay me to do, right? And so that's how I look at it. When you work from home, you don't, like, I think you don't, it's not necessarily something that you see, because to you, getting in the car is a choice. You're like, oh, I get to go, oh, cool, we're going to go do this. And to me, it's like, I got to drive. I drive 5 days a week. Now I got to do this again. And so I can definitely see that, especially for what you do, Jeff, because you also have, you got deadlines. Like, I don't know if you guys still do that thing. Like, when I worked at UPS, the drivers used to say, like, they basically had like a time limit for how long they could be at each stop. It's like, you've got like a set amount. Say, hey, if you're at this stop longer than this, you're losing, because you got to get all, especially when you get to holiday time, right? So I get that. And then, like I said, but you've got to have, like, this is the hobby, but you also need to have something that's aside from it, because you got to have a way to de-stress. And so I completely understand that.
I mean, didn't she just say that this is not supposed to be the hobby? It's supposed to be my job.
Yeah,
When he
exactly. You
retired.
need, but you don't get a hobby yet. When you retire, this is work, and then you get a hobby again. So Kenzie plays football. For those of you who don't know, she plays semi-pro football. And she said she's concerned about that when that starts because she won't have time for content. But think if you go back to before you were doing content, Kenzie, you looked forward to football season. I can't wait to get back out there or whatever, right? So it's definitely.
I just want to shout out to Kenzie first because she's someone that could take this review thing by storm once she finds her voice.
Oh yeah.
And her last content where she started joking a little bit is I think where she needs to go. We love Kenzie. And yeah, I mean, she could make content about playing football.
I think so Letha said literally my biggest struggle is finding the time to make and edit quality content. And like I don't have that problem because I think I have the opposite problem. Everything I see gives me a video idea. Literally everything I see gives me a video idea, right? Okay, for example, I'll just give you an example, right? So Harry just said, if Jeff is here, who's delivering my rogue packages, right? I just had an idea for a video with a UPS driver, like driving around, like delivering, like slinging stuff because, and he's doing like, so he's doing an interview in the car, in the truck. And so he's slinging the packages out the door because he doesn't want to get off the stream. Like, yeah, so yeah. Hey, we don't say those names anyway. I have so many. I have the broken, twisted bodies of many damaged packages thanks to FedEx. Fix yourself. Get your lives together, FedEx. Anyway, but yeah. So what I'm saying is like, so it's hard for me to turn that off. Yeah. So I actually depend on Naomi to make me say, okay, stop. You need to. And she depends on me basically to keep us on schedule. Like, no. We got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do this because this got to come out at a certain time. So. Let's talk about stuff that you guys had. I have the advantage of not having anybody coming up after you guys, but I also want to respect your time. So I'm not going to keep you too long, but I do want to talk about that, your relationship with Makolo. I've got Fawn from Makolo coming on next week. And something that I want to hear from you guys is so that people, kind of hear it. What's your experience been like with them just in general, just working with them as a brand?
I can preface that by saying HBO just reached out to us.
Okay.
And I got the contract.
Nice.
And it was, you are not allowed to post any content without our prior approval. No pictures, no shorts, no videos. You have to go through us for our permission. And I'm like, for a $300 preacher curl machine that maybe I'll keep, maybe I'll sell for $100, you want to control my channel and what I can produce to try to make affiliate sales. And I'm like, no way.
Hold on. I have a question. Hold on. I have a question. Yep. Shout out. Jake just said Makolo signed up for Home Gym Con. I think that is awesome. And appreciate you being here, man. And in fact, I'm going to shout Jake out because Jake has been one of the most consistent viewers of the channel. He has a ton of other stuff he could be doing, but since day one when we started, even though he didn't know if this was going to work or if this is just another one of John's dumb ideas, he was still here. He came on the show multiple times, and we are going to have Jake back on to talk about Home Gym Con 2026. So, but shout out to him. What I wanted to know, though, is are they saying you can't post any content at all? Like they're restricting you from working with other brands? Or are they saying about their product? Just
their product.
Okay.
Like we had to send everything in for approval.
Yeah.
They would send it back. And then when we agreed to that, say, yeah, I have no issue sending you the first edit of our video, but understand I'm not making major changes to it. We can change. If I get some technical stuff wrong, we can do small edits.
Yeah.
The video is what it is. And they were like, okay, cool. Then they sent us the contract and we're like, we're not signing. Some of the language was like completely all towards them. So she made edits, sent it back, and then they refused to change them. And I said, okay, well
then, okay. All right. Go find somebody else.
Yeah. Right. So Makolo, when I reached out to him, we're a tiny channel. Like we have no subscription base, nothing. But being able to explain to them that we want to build a story about your Egyptian themes that you're bringing into all of your names and stuff like that. And nobody's done that for them before. And then we're like, oh, so you have a community, you have a Facebook group, community group, you have all this stuff that we can tell a story about secondary to your actual machine, which everybody's going to review and tell everybody about anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
And they love that idea. So they've been super good to work with. Like, I've had no issues working with Mikolo at all. They've been great. They get back to us on emails. I mean, my problem is right now, I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning because that's when all these emails come in. So I can email them back at 3 o'clock in the morning and then go back to sleep. So because I'm trying to be as approachable as they are to us. So, but they've been great to work with.
Yeah, we love them, and I will say it's been part of the conversation with the whole Vulcan Gluck thing that's been going on lately. But whether or not to sign contracts, whether or not to give prior approval to a brand, and I will say that as a smaller brand, as a smaller channel, we have to grow, right? And we have to work and feel like it's a collaborative effort with whoever the brand is. If it's too one-sided, we don't want to work with a brand in between. But we also, part of it is we want to believe in the brand. We don't want to just sell their product. We want to believe in the brand. And in order to do that, we have to have a good relationship. And we did not feel like the one with HVO was going to be a good relationship.
It wasn't starting off the way we wanted.
Mikolo has been phenomenal since the very beginning. They've been supportive. And I that is to us what we want in the relationship with the brand. They've been great.
The reason why I wanted to make sure we asked that question, I didn't know what you guys were going to say. Okay. I send the questions ahead of time. I don't get the answers ahead of time. But the reason why I want to say that is because we're on LinkedIn. Obviously, there are other brands watching.
Yes.
Because I want brands to see what we are looking for with them. Just like when Synergy Custom Fitness was on, and I love those people. And they were like, well, what are you guys looking for as far as affiliate programs? And I said, this is what I think. These are non-negotiables for me and the thing. So the thing I'll say about contracts is, first of all, we have our own contract, right? And I mean, if a brand sends me a contract, we look it over, and if it looks good, yeah, we'll sign it, right? But I'm amazed at how many times brands are like, okay, so just give me your address. And they're like, hold on, let me send you over the contract. And that's the first time a lot of them are like, oh, you've got a contract already. I'm like, heck yeah. I'm not, because we need to know. It's like any relationship you enter into, you got to know who's going to bring what to the table, right? Every relationship you enter into, you need to know who's bringing what to the table, because you can't hold each other accountable for things that you didn't promise at the beginning, right?
Right.
So I think that that's one element of it. Another element of it is that so many people who do this as a hobby that they're just excited when a brand says, hey, we're going to send you our deluxe hair dryer or whatever. Right. And they just say, okay, cool. Right. So when a brand encounters somebody who's professional about it, says, whoa, no, we're not doing that unless you do this, I think they're taken aback. At the same time, I think that part of the professionalism is once you sign it, you stick to it. Mm-hmm. You sign the contract, you stick to the contract. And I think that there's a certain element among content creators of the brand is sending me this thing, but they don't get to control anything. And from the brand perspective, I'm sending you a $5,000 investment. Right. Would you spend $5,000 on something and just be like, oh yeah, it's cool, do whatever you want? And the answer to that's no. So I try to, like what you're saying is like, it's got to be mutually beneficial. You know how they say like a good deal, the best deals are the ones where everybody walks away a little bit upset, because that shows that there was some give and take. And I think that that's a big deal for me. So Kinsey said Mikolo has been amazing to work with for me lately, and she wanted to know if you guys felt the same way. So obviously you did.
Colonial I got another quick story on this for you.
Oh no, yeah, go ahead. Colonial Barbell Club says he hopes to get the opportunity to work with Mikolo in the future. And so I'm going to ask you, tell your story, and then I want to know how you guys reached out, because you reached out to them, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so that actually is a really good thing. Also, how do you guys reach out to brands? So go ahead, tell the story.
So we want to get into a lot of like touring these facilities and stuff like that. We thought that'd be fun. The rep facility that's closest to us is about a 9-hour drive. So
Yep.
we were working with rep trying to figure out, can we come out, film some content, what it's like to go into your front storeroom, maybe see your warehouse. And they really didn't want anything to do with us. Like, no, you can come, you can film the storeroom, you can't film any customers in there. Maybe we'll have someone that can talk to you about stuff. You can't go in the warehouse because it's a trade-free zone because of tariffs and stuff. And I'm like, well, that's not a thing because that's your property. Just tell us you don't want us there. Don't make stuff up.
Trade-free zone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a UPS driver. Don't tell me that I'm not allowed into your facility because the government owns part of it. I'm like, just be honest. I'm like, God, this is such garbage.
Extra points for creativity, minus points for cap.
And they doubled down on that too. They doubled down on it.
So we reached out to Peter Keller because she's flying into Texas because she's from Texas.
I can already tell you, he said, yeah, come on over.
And he led the tour of, so we're building the content out. We have all the video of the tour, and we've got content of items that haven't been released to the public yet that he said, yeah, go ahead, show them. Yeah. So dealing with Fringe versus Rep, I mean, yeah, I'm not even going to reach out to Rep ever again now. We'll deal with Peter and Fringe.
So you guys have been watching the show, so you know, I mean, heck, I just mentioned, I didn't even plan on mentioning that I don't like Rep Fitness and how they've been behaving when I said it earlier in this conversation. But you guys saw what happened with them and Kevin, with Rep and Kevin when we talked about it last week. I'm just I'm pleased to see that more content creators are starting to speak out about it, because it's very easy for people to just be like, oh yeah, okay, it's Rep, and we just put up with it, because just like people used to put up with whatever bad behavior Rogue had, because, oh, it's Rogue and we don't want to offend them. And I'm like, at a certain point, you've got to make a stand and say, I'm just not about to let you just treat me however you want. Okay. Well, it's just absolutely not.
I approached this like, we're not affiliates, and they're like, well, we're not supporting you as affiliates. I said, no, we're not trying to do that. But are you doing anything in the local community that we can talk about? Can we make a story out of this? That just helps you. It makes content people are going to want to watch. It helps us, but we're not saying we're affiliates. And they were like, no, we have people we work with, and they shot down everything. I have like probably 20 emails back and forth with them before I didn't even respond to the last one. I said, whatever. I mean, we'll go on to people that want to work with us.
I said, I say this all the time, and I'm like, look, I stopped chasing people after I got married. I have what I want. I don't need to chase you. Okay. I got a wife. I'm good. I don't need to chase you anymore. You know what I mean? I'll chase her. That's about it. Yeah. Because otherwise they're going to treat you however they want. And this is not just Rep. It's anything. It's every brand, because they're obviously going to try to push to get what they want. So, I do have the question about Home Gym Con, but you guys can just email me your answer about that. Because I do want to, the one about the live broadcast, how to improve it. And in fact, that might be something that I do next week, and just open it up to everybody who was there. But I really do want to know about that. And what I will say is I appreciate you guys for being there, because that was the first time obviously it's the first time I met you, but also I didn't even know you guys were watching, because I don't think I had ever had any exchanges with you guys. So I'm going around saying hi
at that time.
Yeah, I'm like going around the room saying hi to people and saying, hey, how you doing? I'm John or whatever. And that was like our first ever encounter. I don't mean like even in the comments. Like I had not seen any comments or anything like that from you guys. So the fact that you guys were willing, for people who are watching this who don't know what we're talking about, we did a live in-person show at Home Gym Con. And the show starts at 6 a.m. every Friday, right? Which meant we had to be there. We had to be there at like 4 a.m. to set up everything. But you guys, if you're going to be there when the show starts, that means you have to get up at 4 a.m., whatever, even though it wasn't a very long walk from the hotel. But still, you had to wake up extra early just to come to this thing that you had really kind of never seen before. So I appreciate it. And I wanted to say publicly, I appreciate you guys taking a chance on that. You know, now 2026, we got cinnamon rolls from Kenzie's mom to entice you. Okay, that's different. You know what you're getting into there. But just to take a swing on something that's unknown, you guys don't know how much that fueled the fire. And I'm still kind of living off of the emotions of that experience now, today.
Another big shout out to Big Joey E, because he is the one that was like, we got to go. You're going to meet us there. Like, he was really, and then a shout out to, we are part of Gluck's Patreon Discord, and have really, I mean, we love it. And would encourage people to join it as well. But we have really become good friends with all of those people, and they made Home Gym Con even more of a great experience, because they embraced us and they introduced us to people. And it's a very tight, this community is actually pretty tight knit, right? Especially and so coming in as newbies, it was a lot of fun. And I will say that if you don't go to Home Gym Con, I highly encourage it to everybody. It's a wonderful experience. And shout out to JB TV, because he told us that, you know, we were celebrities there, because he'd already been watching our channel. And so we felt like celebrities. Like, it's just a wonderful experience. And it kicked off with your show, right? Like, we really felt like we were in that community. And
like, oh God, is the rest of this going to be like this? No.
Here's my one thing that you can do better. And it's not even you. Jake has to help you out here. And Kinsey can agree with this, because that's how we met Kinsey. We had no freaking way we had no idea how to find you. Like, there were no directions to the room that you were in. We were on the wrong side. Then we had to go to that side.
So crazy. So first of all, we were trying to figure out, okay, I'm blaming Jake, not you. Oh, no. There's a little bit of inside baseball, right? So Jake said, I'm going to give you because first I was like, well, dude, I need to be there, because some of the parts of the show, there's some things we can't build ahead of time. So I have to do the day of the show, right? Just because of how the software works. He said, okay. So he had to give, and I said, plus I got to be in there early, because I can't start a show at 6 if I'm not in there before 6. He said, okay. So he gave us his key card. So then the second part of it is, we're like, all right, how do we figure out how to get in here? Because you guys remember how difficult it was when we were all leaving. If you had stuff that you wanted to get out, parking is kind of weird. And it's like, okay, well, what door is going to be open? And so we ended up this was like a group effort. Trevor, who's in the chat, Trevor volunteered to stand downstairs, because the doors weren't unlocked yet, to let people in. And then he was giving directions. But if you didn't just show up on faith and get to the door and say, okay, we'll figure out how to get in from there, there was no way to tell people how to get there, because when we got there, it was like, well, we didn't even know how to get there. So yeah, that's that's like number 1, 2, and 3 on my list for this coming year. Number 1, we're going to try to have it in the same room so that it's easier. And then we're going to try to basically put up signs to let people know how to get there. And then also we want to get there earlier, so that we can do a video that we're going to post and say, tomorrow, this is how you get to the show.
Well, I mean,
so
honestly,
that way people can get up there.
I saw Jake just standing around, not doing a whole lot the entire time. So he
I
should
know,
be
right?
there.
This is horrible.
He should be there in the morning, bringing people personally to your area.
Oh yeah, I think he should drive a shuttle, to be honest.
Yes, I mean,
get a little golf cart
the whole weekend.
Yeah. So I'll tell you guys something funny before I let you go. I spent there was a little bit of back and forth where I was just having to walk around, just doing stuff, going to our different booth things or whatever, right? But Jake was so busy that there were times when people couldn't find him because he's already doing something for somebody else, right? It was hilarious. There's some guys walking by from one of the competitions, and he's just decided I was Jake. And I know that there's a resemblance.
Oh, you guys are very similar.
Yeah. So he literally came, he said, man, I just want to tell you how great this is. I can't wait to come back next year. I said, okay. And he said, yeah, man, you did. So he starts, he said, you did a fantastic job. So I'm like, oh, okay, man, I appreciate it. Thank you. Because I'm thinking, it's like you said, people like coming up and saying, hey, I love your stuff, all that kind of stuff all weekend long, right? But this guy comes, he said, man, you did a fantastic job. I'm loving this. And then it kind of sinks in us. Oh, he's talking about this event, my home gym con. Why does he think I'm Jake? And that's my favorite home gym con story. This dude came up, and so I had to call Jake. I say, hey, man, you did a great job, by the way. Some guy, I just passed on what the guy said to me. But I was like, it's definitely. I thought it's either that or the height. So right. I was like, this is just amazing to me. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I gotta have you back on. I know we want to grow because we got to make sure that Jeff has something to do when he retires. So tell everybody how to find your channel. I'll run it across the screen, and I'll also let them know what you guys have coming up. You mentioned the French sport thing.
15 or 20 seconds to answer your final question on the Mikolo. It'd be like 15 or 20 seconds. You asked how I approached them.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
It goes for all of the new content creators. There are thousands of us asking for free stuff to review. Like, give me this, give me that, give me this. I'll review it for you. What are you offering these companies? What are you selling about yourself to these companies that makes it interesting for them to want to work with you? And that's how I approach all of this content stuff with these companies is like, hey, we're tiny. I understand that. But this is what we can offer. This is what we're doing different than everybody else. We can tell kind of a story for you. And it's resonating with them. And it's a lot. I get a lot of feedback from these companies that probably shouldn't even be talking to me based on my channel size. And I think more content creators have to start thinking that way. You're selling yourself. There's a million people standing up there telling specs. And there's people in the industry that do it better than any of us could ever do. So why compete with them? It's a big slice of a cake or pie, and we're all trying to get a slice of it. Build out your niche, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I would say that BJ from Iron Clinic, his post captions on Instagram are hilarious. They're well in depth, they're well written, and he tells, and it's basically like you're saying, he tells a story.
Well, he's a buff hippie.
I mean, what else?
I mean, how many buff hippies are telling stories about gear?
We need more than that. We definitely need more of that in the world. But I also would say there's a guy called Dan McKim, and he does like these little skits on Instagram. His Instagram is @McKimDaniel, right? Just to show you what kind of person he is. So he's a former Highland Games world champion, okay? And he's a big fan of Little Debbie's. And I'll say, and I'm saying this because this is one of my favorite stories about how to get sponsored, right? So he does these skits where it's like he plays like different parts in the skit, and he really loves Little Debbie's. And he actually was able to become the first sponsored athlete with Little Debbie. Yes, Little Debbie's the cakes, right? Because he reached out to them and said, I think that I can do something. This is the kind of content I have. It's family friendly. I really love your stuff. People think it's funny, it's entertaining. And he was able to demonstrate that his audience liked what he did and that it would be resonating because Little Debbie kind of like, they were leaning again. They're like, I don't know about that. They sent him a letter, said, look, we weren't going to do this, but you've had so many of your supporters write us to talk to get us to sponsor you that first we were like, who? Like, who is this, right? But that's what I'm saying. So number one, I think that we shouldn't start out trying to get stuff. Right. Start out building content that people enjoy, and then people will start recommending to you, hey, you should check out this. And they'll also be talking to brands and say, hey, you guys need to do something with this creator because I love watching their stuff already. Whereas a lot of people started out the other way around. They start out automatically wanting to get the free thing and then build a channel. And I'm like, no, build a following first, find your voice as much as you can first, and then start reaching out because, like you said, you got to let brands know what they're getting.
And I reiterate this again. It's about building a relationship. Like we're big fans of Farmer Boy Fitness, and Jimmy at Farmer Boy. I like that bench. The bench is great. I love the bars. I know people think they're gimmicky. I believe in it 100%. And Jimmy is great. I have a text relationship with Jimmy.
He'll be in his tractor doing whatever he's doing.
You said text relationship? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he'll be in his tractor doing whatever he's doing out on the farm. and just like call her in the tractor because he's a farmer. And it's like,
that makes sense. I like that. I like that. That's
Yeah,
on
I mean-
brand. That's on
Yeah.
brand.
Just shows that getting to know people,
Yeah.
people understand, like getting to know Dean from Black Widow and
Yeah.
know how much he
Wow.
does and what his work life is like. You understand when he doesn't respond to you as quickly, right? When your
Yeah.
emails don't get responded.
Yes.
Fitness, he's a farmer. He's an actual farmer
Yeah.
out doing farming things in the fields.
Yeah.
And so if he doesn't respond as quickly, it allows you to have a little more empathy.
Yeah.
When it comes to these kinds of things, because it's a business, yes, for them, but they also, you
Well,
know,
they're real people too.
real people too.
So
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So my mom, I told y'all my mom was watching. She said, "Thanks for sharing. Thanks for your transparency, Perrin and Jeff." She said, "Many blessings to you guys." I echo that, and I want everybody, you guys need to go and subscribe to Paired and Powered Up on YouTube. We got to give Jeff something to do when he retires from UPS. So please subscribe. Let everybody know where else they can encounter your stuff, though. Instagram, everything else.
Yep, we are Paired and Powered Up on Instagram and on Facebook. I will say I have not gone down a TikTok rabbit hole, so it's not on anything that I do. But we're trying to get our son Connor to help us push us out on TikTok in the not too distant future. So hopefully we'll have that as well. So those are all the places that you can find us. We've got a Viper hack video coming out. We've got the full review of Viper. We've got the Bastet bench and a comparison of the Bastet to the Kepi and the RitFit.
Right, the Gator.
The Gator that I know you're doing. And so we've got those things coming out. Jeff was brilliant in getting a lot of stuff to help me in my recovery from my shoulder surgery. So I've got some 3-part video series coming out about how I have recovered from shoulder surgery and what tools I have used.
She's finally going to use the Advanced Muscle Mechanics Launchpad.
Yes, I am. I'm going to do that.
Sweet.
So yeah, we've got part of it is a Kenyan red light therapy, and I use Hyper Ice shoulder contrast therapy, as well as using Advanced Muscle Mechanics Launchpad and the bubble bar and bubble benches, or the bubble bench and bubble bars that were sent to us by Jimmy from Farmer Boy Fitness. And so we've got a lot. We also have Evolpal Brute rack that we're going to be.
It's actually in our dining room right now.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So we've got a lot of content coming out. We also have some more stuff about the Persist unit with Chris that was at Home Gym Con last year. So lots of stuff. And then Jeff mentioned the Fringe tour that I did in Austin. So
awesome.
Lots more. Yeah.
That is awesome. And I cannot wait to have you guys back on the show. This was a lot of fun. We went way over our time. But you know what? No, I love it because that shows that, I mean, we were getting comments up until the end, and that tells me that when the conversations are resonating with people. And so for that reason, I love having.
I mean, once she gets started, she doesn't stop.
I cannot. I'm about to let you go, and we won't even be witnesses anymore. So if you just vanish, I'm just saying, there's nothing we can do for you, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. All right.
Take care.
So that was Jeff and Perrin from Paired and Powered Up YouTube channel. If you guys are not watching them, if you're not subscribed to them, you need to do that. Hey, Coach Peckinpah, what's up, Rex? He said, I followed you guys on YouTube. Talking to Jeff and Perrin. He said, just follow on Instagram and we'll add Facebook too. And I got to shout you out, Rex, because you were at Home Gym Con. And you were I saw you like doing nothing but just going around and encouraging the different creators, letting them know that you enjoy their work. So thank you so much for just being an encourager. And because as Jeff and Perrin were saying, doing this stuff is hard. There are days when you do it and you just like, I worked really hard and what did I get out of it? Right. You don't even know if anybody's ever going to actually watch the video. So, I love the fact that you are willing to take the time and encourage us. I know I personally appreciate it. So thank you so much. Spencer, Home Gym Hub says, morning, guys. A little late today. Going to be part of the replay gang later on today. Hey, man, shout out to the replay gang. Just make sure that you answer the question of the day, which is, Do you wait? Do you save purchases for Black Friday sales, or are you more of an impulse buyer? Okay, so that is the question of the day. It's going to be, if you're watching on replay, it's going to be in the it's the first pinned comment. So when you come to the video, make sure you go to the comments, look at the question of the day, and then reply to that, and just post. Are you somebody who saves your purchases, certain purchases for Black Friday, or do you just buy stuff as you find out about it throughout the year? All right, we're going to go into React and Respond. But first, I got to give a belated shout out to the Mountain Time Zone. If you just joined the show, you saw that we just wrapped up a great segment with Jeff and Perrin from the Paired and Powered Up YouTube channel. So we're now moving into React and Respond. I really like React and Respond because this segment, and I was on the fence about whether to do React whenever I do React and Respond. Initially, I was on the fence about whether to do it while we're on LinkedIn because I'm like, well, who's going to care? Maybe we should just save the LinkedIn stuff for when I'm doing interviews with brands or with content creators like Jeff and Perrin. And I think that there's true value in React and Respond because brands put out the marketing messages, but you really don't know what we think. So let's say a marketing campaign fails. Sometimes you don't know why. So React and Respond is a window into a segment of the potential customer base to let you know what's working and what's not, what's resonating with us and what is not. So let's just jump into the first thing. And a lot of this stuff is just based off of things that I've seen come across my radar. We're going to begin with something that I had on my radar for quite some time, and that is Ultrahuman has an AI-powered blood testing service. So I found out, so Jonathan from No Fake 24/7 just did a video about that. And in fact, I will post the link to his video in the description for this one, so you guys can go check it out once the show is over. So, and also to get like what his reaction is to that product. Okay, but I'll just say that I first encountered it because I have I get press releases. Okay, so the press release came out, and this was originally shared from Athlete Tech News. It's one of the sources that I go to all the time. So I found out about this in October. So October 2nd, they came out with this thing. It says Ultrahuman is adding AI-powered medical device, and they're expanding their blood testing service. Again, Jonathan did a very comprehensive review of how this all works and everything else. But what I want to know is this taking AI too far? The idea is that you go get your blood drawn, and then it gets put into this database, and then they give you opinions vary about how accurate and tailored the responses are. But I mean, are we kind of giving AI too much access to us? I have relatives who, like won't even get fitness tech like a smart home gym because they don't want to put their data in there. True story. I had an opportunity to give one and the Ike K1 that we have downstairs in our gym that Naomi uses. We actually had the opportunity to give one to one of our family members. And because you have to put in your data and share, obviously they have to have access to your phone, or else they can't connect with your phone. The person who I was going to give it to, the family member I was going to give it to, turned it down because they're like, that's too invasive. So I contrast that with this AI-powered blood testing service. You go get your blood drawn the way you normally would. And then what it does is it basically gives you blood test results to kind of help you check your health markers and see where you are. Is this something that interests you guys at all? Is this something that you would actually want to, number one, is this something that you would even consider for yourself? Have you ever done any kind of blood testing in the past, whether through your doctor or whoever? And is this something that you would consider doing going forward? Is this something that you would want to do? So I'm curious to hear about that. I'm going to tell you, I turned it down because I just was like, this is not something that, this isn't something that I'm interested in. I do believe in the concept of doing blood testing, but when I do it, I just get it done through my normal primary care physician. So first of all, were you guys aware of this? Have you seen Jonathan's video? And what do you guys think of this AI testing service for giving you blood test results or for analyzing your blood test results? And I just, as promised, it is in. So I just put the link to Jonathan's video in the link to the YouTube video. So if you're watching on LinkedIn, you have to go to the YouTube channel, Garage Gym Life Media, and you'll see it in the video description. All right, so here we go. Okay. So Paired and Powered Up said, by the way, about our previous conversation about about yellow and orange, is that yellow is orange adjacent. I'm just saying yellow is just light skin orange. That's all I'm saying. Carlos said, yeah, every step towards AI growth is the next step to our extension, but who wants to live forever? I mean, I'd like to not shorten my lifespan. Eric Eccles said, Sarah and John Connor are shaking their heads right now. Hey, Terminator Rise of the Machines, I'm telling you. Jared Martin said, absolutely not, but I think the worst of people and my genetic data and DNA. So, yeah, I mean, it feels invasive. Like, you think about it, like, I know, like, there's this thing periodically to pop up on my YouTube algorithm talking about how your cell phone is listening, your iPhone is listening to you. And yes, it is, because that's partly how they tailor the ads that you're going to see. But it feels like it's part of our life in so many different ways. It's like, do we want to give more access? I'm not sure about that. All right. So that's the first item. You guys can keep on commenting about it. And shout out to the 2,500 of you guys, 2,500 plus of you guys who are watching. Please do me a favor. I'm going to throw this back on here. Hit like and hit subscribe for me. We want the channel to grow so that we can reach more people, get the information out to more people, and help to share stories like Jeff and Parents with more people. So subscribing is free. Help me out. Hit that subscribe button so we can get the word out there. All right. So the next item I have is, this is more of a opinion question. So I saw this. This is a post from Eric Does Kettlebell, and it was an Instagram post, and he made the claim that the home gym could be a trap. So I'm going to pull up his reasoning, and I'm going to read his reasoning from his post on Instagram. So I'll pull it up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right. So Eric Does Kettlebell. He said, a home gym can be a luxury, but it can also be a trap. If you find yourself getting distracted while working out at home, here are some solutions. Number one, follow an interval timer for each block of movements. Use a training platform designed to keep you accountable, like his platform, Bell made. He says systems or hacks are more important than willpower because willpower isn't really real. And then you guys can see that he's got stuff popping up on screen. Because he said, you might be saving money, time, you get more privacy, but you also don't get the social pressure of being there. Everybody else is working out. If you spend too much time on a bench at a public gym, somebody eventually is going to walk up to you and say, hey, are you done with that? Because I want to use it. So that by itself gives you a little bit of pressure to, hurry up, finish what you're doing. Don't just sit there all day. But I'm going to tell you, from working at multiple public gyms, the concept of the gym rat is real. And a gym rat is somebody who's just there all day for no apparent reason. I'll be honest with you. In some cases, that person is selling drugs. Okay. Depending on what kind of gym you're at. Sometimes that person is selling drugs. He's selling gear. Okay. They're just there all day. That's how they make their money. But I'm just saying that there are people who also is like the gym is their third place. they have no problem being in there for 3 hours, talking about the game, talking about all kinds of unrelated things, not really getting any work done. So you can waste time at the gym just like you can anywhere else, right? I don't, and I don't necessarily disagree with what he's saying, though, because if you're a content creator, I was mentioning earlier that there's a lot of pressure, or not pressure, but there's a temptation for me to stop working out, start doing content, which is different. For example, the other day I was squatting, right? And I was like, oh, at the same, and what I normally do is I try to get footage for like B-roll, at least for my reviews, just while I'm working out. But I'm like, oh, I've got the squat bar loaded up. I might as well get B-roll of, it was for the J cups, for the roller J cups. Well, I had to change the lighting, and I shot the same thing from 3 different angles. All right. This is when I'm supposed to be resting or loading the bar for the next set, or just doing anything else exercise related. Instead, I stopped to do that, which is a potential time waster. Now, I use a timer so that when the timer went off, I stopped doing all the other foolishness. I mean, it's important, but you know what I'm saying? I stopped doing it and I got back into the set. But that's the stuff that happens, right? And I have a little bit more freedom to do that because I am in a home gym. I don't have to, there's no social pressure because nobody else is around me. Only social pressure I get is people look at me, say I'm not in shape, and they're going to talk trash, right? What do you guys think? So let's go to the comments. So Parrot and Powered Up said, Whoop has started doing a thing where they evaluate your data if you send them your blood test results, or you can pay to go to one of their clinics. So yeah, it's I don't have, like I said, I don't object to the idea of blood test and data collection because of that. It's just like how much access, like how many things do I want to give access to me? You know what I mean? Like how much of that do I want out there? Carp said, speaking about what Jeff said about the brands and having a bad experience with a brand, so HVO was like that to me at first. He said there was pushback and they changed their tune after some back and forth. Oh, hey, shout out to Carp. Yeah. He said one of the people from HBO actually told me I was too strong to test their equipment. All right. Hey, look, that's a round of applause right there. Too strong for the equipment. All right. Shout out. That's an accomplishment. But he said he had 2 other people reach out afterwards. So there's a lot going on there. So there. And Parrot Powered Up said, our home gym has taught us better discipline because that beats motivation. I think that what you have to do is set up systems. So, like I start getting into the minds. So I work out roughly the same time every day. Every day that I work out at the same time. Whether I had to work that day or not, I try to keep it at the same time. That way my brain is primed to think, okay, it's time to work out. And then I also try to do as much filming as I can at a different time. Okay. There's still some of it that has to happen during workouts, because if I want to get B-roll of myself squatting with a bar, I'm not just going to go down and squat with the bar because I don't like doing B-roll of squatting with 135 pounds. Right. I'm going to actually put, a reasonable amount of weight on there, which means it's best done during a squat session because I'm not one of those squat every day type of people. So, you know what I mean? So there's some give and take, but I think that the ultimate thing is if you find that your home gym is an obstacle, is not really the problem. The home gym isn't the problem. Is that you don't have systems in place to keep yourself on track. So using something with a timer, you can get a gym clock if you want. I mentioned that Naomi uses the Ladder app. Ladder app has a built-in timer, and so that you know exactly how long you're resting between sets. I'm a big fan of the Beachbody, now company's called Body. I'm a big fan of their products. I don't use all of them, but I can be transparent and say I hate doing ab work. And if you look at my body, you can tell I hate doing ab work, right? I know it's important. I do it. But the way that I found that I have to do it is I have to put on a video. So one of my favorite videos is the I think it's called the Ab Ripper X, and it was a Beachbody product. Basically, you get 200 reps of ab work with different exercises. I just turn the video on, and heck, I think they have it available for free on YouTube now. But I just turn the video on and just start, and I just go with them. And when the video's over, I'm done. Right? But if I just try to do it myself, say, no, we're going to do some ab work, well, then I get distracted. Well, what do I want to use? What I want to do? Maybe I'll do this. No, I did that yesterday. Oh, that wasn't effective. Oh, do I feel like getting that out? No. Just get the video, put it on. That's one of my systems. Get the video, turn it on, do what they say, move on. Mario, what's up, man? 46 Fitness says, if you were in the military, they already have your information. Database collection is where that company is going to make their money. It's worth a 10x multiple. Yes, if you were in the military, they already, to be honest with you, and this is something that I mentioned to my family member when they were talking about the Ike. You know, there are people who don't have, like, they don't want to have any social media presence at all. And I'm just going to tell you that nothing raises red flags more than somebody not having any online presence at all in the year 2025. Because what that looks like is you're trying to hide something. Okay? What we try to do is limit the kind of information that we put out. So we don't do a lot of videos with we only have one child still living with us. The rest of them are grown. But you're not going to see videos of my grandkids on TV. Well, you ain't going to see that either. But you're not going to see videos of my grandkids on my YouTube channel. You're not going to see videos of my daughter until she's old enough on my YouTube channel. Because people are nuts. All right? But I mean, and I'll just say this, I'm not at the point where I can't go anywhere without people recognizing me, but I am at the point where I go places that people recognize me, right? And I, like my daughter at my daughter's school, her friends know, her classmates know that I have a YouTube channel. Some of those kids come on and they watch the replay of the show, which is one reason why I don't allow certain types of language on here, because I know that their kids watch it, right? I don't want my kids to be in a situation where they have to answer for something I said or did online. So there's that, as far as, you know, data collection and whatnot. But as far as just like blood test results and things like that, yeah, that information's out there. Heck, be honest with you, people give out a staggering amount of information for free on Facebook and they don't even think about it. If you took one of those quizzes where they're like, you know, those things, I don't know if they're popular anymore, but it'd be like, you know, what city did you grow up in, that kind of stuff, and then you had to put all these answers in. You've already told them enough to steal your identity. Okay, so yeah, just whatever. Eric is our conspiracy theorist. He said if you don't have an online presence, the government will make it up for you and frame you. But yes, you could have, think about it, AI is out there. So I mean, unless you've got like the most uncommon name, there are people out there with there's at least one person out there with your name, and it's very easy to get mistaken identity, because if you don't have any online presence and this other joker does, then they say, oh, well, let's say they've got one of those things with no picture. Oh, well, that must be you then. So anyhow, to me, having a presence, at least some sort of presence, is like self-defense, you know. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, I say about the home gym thing. My solutions are use an interval timer. I agree. You find a training platform with all the exercises pre-programmed and rest timers built in. I use Flow Motion Fitness for my mobility work. And then Henrik, I think his last name is pronounced Jacobson's, but then he's got a 531 strength app. So that keeps me on track for my main lifts. So yeah, and if you guys have any like solutions that you found that help you stay on track in your home gym, throw those in the comment section. If you're watching on replay, put it in the comment section. Like, how do you stay on track so that you're actually working out in your home gym instead of just wasting time in there, you know, just doing stuff that doesn't actually lead to results. So that's the second thing. I think I'm gonna I'm going to leave that alone right there. I think I told you guys about the toilet that analyzes the health data from our poop. Kohler Health has created, if you don't remember, Kohler Health has created the Dakota. That's really what it's called. It's got a clamp. It attaches to the rim of your toilet, and it analyzes your waste in the background to give you insights. So if you don't want to do the Ultrahuman blood draw thing, you could get this thing from Kohler Health and attach it to your toilet, and it's going to analyze your poop. All right. So again, that's very invasive. Not sure about that. I want to talk about the Hypertrophy Home Gym Builder. So I sent this to Jared, I think. I want to say I sent it to Jared. So Hypertrophy's going to be on the show in December. And I told him I'll get the word out about it. So essentially what it is it's a gym builder. And you basically, you can recreate your training space. So even if you have your gym already built out, you can use it essentially to figure out like upgrades and replacements, right? So let me pull up. This is what I've got. I'll put the link in the YouTube description. And of course, we will discuss it in more in depth when Tyler is on the show. But basically, if you click the link, it takes you to this. I have no affiliate relationship with this. I'm not getting paid anything for telling y'all this. But it's called Gymscape, and you go there, you have to put in like an email link, and you do sign in and all that kind of stuff. And you recreate your training space. So let me go here because I also have the video that he did. He did a video where he's explaining it, right? And so let's pull that up here, give him some free watch time. But this way you guys get to see what the tool looks like. All right, so this is his actual gym. And so you see right there, it's got like, so it will do like a floor plan for you. The question I have is, are you guys interested in something like this? It is free, but then if you, let me pause this real quick. So the app is free. And the way that he makes money from the app is if you, let's say you're like, oh, I want a way to do leg extensions, leg curls. We need to add a leg extension, leg curl to it, right? He's got a section with, available leg extension, leg curl machines from different manufacturers. You click on it, that's an affiliate. And if you make the purchase through that link, then that's an affiliate link for him. And that money goes back into basically supporting improvements and upgrades that he'll need to make to the app. Okay. So my question is this something that is interesting to you guys? That kind of, first of all, do you use a home gym builder at all? And if you do, is this type of thing where it's free, but it's paid for if you click on affiliate links? Is that something that's of interest to you as well? Going back to stay on track in the home gym, Letha says, I schedule my workouts on my calendar just like I would a doctor's appointment or anything else. I think that's a fantastic thing because also it lets everybody else in the family know this is a time when, like, I don't mind if my daughter comes in to talk to me while I'm working out. She just has to wait till, if I'm in the middle of a set, she got to wait till I'm done. But it at least lets people know I'm working out and not to call me. So there's that. Oh, this is a good idea. Rex Peckinpah says sometimes I write my workout on a whiteboard and then I erase each item as I go. So I do a variation of that. So although I said I use the 531 app, I don't like look on the app right throughout the workout because I found that slows me down because now I'm tempted to go look on Instagram or something, right? So I try to put the phone in my pocket. Unless I'm using it to control the Osmo, but I put the phone in my pocket. And also, it's keeping track of my steps. So I just stick the phone in my pocket. So at the beginning of the workout, I write everything out that I'm planning on doing that day on the whiteboard, and I just draw a line through it as I go through. I might write down the number of repetitions I got depending on what the exercise is. So if I plan 10 and I got 12 because I felt good, I'll write that down and keep track of that over time. So I like that that's a reason to keep a whiteboard in the gym, that sometimes an analog solution is the best. And there he is. He's like Candyman. You say his name too much and he pops up. So Hypertrophy, what's up, man? Hey, if I say something, as we go back to talking about your app, if I say something that's inaccurate or you want to clarify it, just feel free to throw the comment in the comment section here, because you're obviously going to know more about the app than I am. But anyway, so I do not know. In fact, I'll ask you a question right now. Is this app available on the different platforms? Because the link I have right now is to the website. Right. So is your app going to be available for is it going to be in the Apple Store? Is it going to be in the Google Play Store? I do not know the answer to that because I forgot to ask you. So you can't read my mind, I don't think. So I don't have that information. So do me a favor and throw that answer in there. Is this available in the different Play Stores? If it's not, do you plan to add them to the different to the Apple Store and the Google Play Store? Anyway, while we wait for that answer, let's go ahead. I'm going to press play. So basically, you can do a lot of different modifications. Once you have like the basic thing built out, then it's going to allow you to make changes as you say, okay, well, I'm going to replace this with, let me go over here. There we go. So you say, all right, well, I'm going to replace this thing. Maybe I've got a different leg extension. Different brand of leg extension that's got a smaller footprint. So now I need to update my floor space so that I know if I've got space for the next thing. Like in our personal case, we've got the Synergy Custom Fitness rack coming, dumbbell rack coming. It's the Delta. Well, it's bigger than the dumbbell rack we have now. So that is going to affect the size of deadlift platform that we can have. And I already wanted to change the deadlift platform out because it's getting in the way of me using my punching bag because I always have to remember to step up as I'm moving around the bag. So one thing I like about the app is that it lets you adjust your floor space as you add and subtract products. So that's important. All right, so here's the answer. So Hypertrophy said it's a web app, so it will work on all devices from the website. It is not on the app stores. Okay. So there you go. Obviously, you can still use it on a mobile device, but it sounds to me like it's something that's best used if you're on a desktop, laptop, or something like that, which is probably better if you're planning out your gym. You probably need to be doing it. Now I think about it. You probably are better off doing it sitting at a desk than trying to do it on your phone. All right. Any other questions? Since my man is here in the chat, you guys go ahead, ask any questions you have about that app, and that way he can answer them. But I want to show you guys something. Because I just think it is cool. This might be one of the coolest things I've seen, and it kind of goes back to something that I said to Jeff and Perrin about the idea that you have. I think it's a good idea. Like, I'm not a fan of the notion that your home gym is your man cave, or in the case of a woman, that it's your woman cave. Now, if your significant other is not interested in training with you, fine. But if they are, don't discourage them. And the reason why I say that is because, to me, this should be your goal. I'm going to pull this up. This should be your goal. All right. This is 82-year-old Ben Green and his wife. They are my new favorite home gym couple. I'm going to turn the sound on. I don't know if you guys...
Stop. I think that was bad enough. I think but you put on 10 more pounds. I don't know. So it's 115. Yeah. Right now. Right. Let's see.
I love this.
Take me a while to get up. We're going to do it. See, I go here and come up. It needs to be up 2 notches, right?
Look at it.
That's where I want it.
So right there, see that? I mean, that to me is awesome. So you can see that his wife, first of all, his wife is his handoff person. 82 years old. He works out 3 to 4 times a week. He's trained a bunch of Olympians in that home gym. Is not what you would consider like the most well laid. It's not the most elaborate thing. He's got a ton of equipment, but it doesn't have like, there's no special lighting. Heck, I don't even know. I mean, you can see the insulation, but he's trained Olympic champions in that gym. Even more important to me is the fact that he and his wife train together. She is handing him off the bar. She's his spotter. 82 years old. You don't get to that by making your home gym your personal little private room that nobody else can go in. That's winning. That is winning. Carlos said, that's flipping amazing. I love the energy. Parent Empowered Up said, haha, yes. I'm telling you that, right? I mean, that's when I saw that, oh man, and I'm trying to remember like how long ago I saved it, but it's been on there for a minute. As a side note, the way that home gym looks is how home gyms looked when I first started working out at home in 2001. Okay. All right. With all this stuff that you got that we have now, we didn't even dream of it. Okay. That's what a home gym looked like back then. But I'm just saying, those of you who keep your wife or husband out of the gym, just remember, if you want what Ben and his wife have, you got to lay that foundation now. I saw this and immediately became my favorite Instagram post. Immediately. I mean, and I wanted to make sure as we're getting ready to close the show out, but I wanted to close with that to encourage you guys. You may not be married. You know, you watch this, you may not be married. Find somebody who will be your spotter when you're in your 80s working out in your home gym. If you are married, lay the foundation so you are each other's spotter when you're in your 80s, when you're 100 years old. I'm telling you, you need to do that. All right. Remember, I told y'all we will run out of time, so we're going to have to continue this on the next segment. Yes, I've got, hold on, let me just do the count. Got 1, 2, 6 more items. And we will have to address that to be continued next week on next week's episode of Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life. I got more cool stuff that I saw on Instagram, more things I want to react to. So that's it for today's show. Thank you to my guests, Jeff and Perrin from the Parent Empowered Up YouTube channel, Instagram, for stopping by. You guys were the reason why this show is a success. Shout out to Carlos Sanchez from Synergy Custom Fitness. That's my guy. What's up, brother? Appreciate you being here. My mom said, great show, John. Thank you, mommy. Said, glad you didn't get hurt from the fall outside Dollar General. I'm in training now. I got the Rocky music playing in my head, mommy. I'll get it. She said, great interview, great interaction with your video viewers, great guest, bravo, everyone. Thank you, mommy. Carlos said, have an awesome weekend, everybody. So before you go, I'll tell you who's going to be on here next week. So I mentioned it, but we're going to have fun from Makolo Fitness joining the show. This is something that I've been working on for a long time, trying to get Makolo on the show. So I'm really looking forward to the conversation. Also, next Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be live streaming 2 days of powerlifting action. You're going to have amateur and pro powerlifters from the United States Powerlifting Coalition. They're going to be competing at the Shack Showdown. So next Friday, we got the show. Next Saturday, we've got a live stream of the day one of the Shack Showdown. Is going to have the all amateurs and the pro female athletes. And then on Sunday, we're going to have all the pro powerlifters, all the men's pro powerlifters competing. So that's 3 days worth of live streams. Don't tell me you got nothing to watch in your home gym while you're working out, because we are giving you the content. We're giving you stuff to watch. That's why we're here. And so I need you guys to come back. Number one, I need you guys to keep on sharing the link to this channel so that everybody else can take advantage of this resource that we're building here. Also, keep posting in the community section. Jared, congrats on the bench. I know that you're going to enjoy using it. Everybody else, Make sure you keep stacking days. Thank you for being here. Y'all motivate me.